You're watching Force 13's live streaming service.
Hurricane Francine is the major story of tonight, and it is a Category 1 hurricane heading towards the coast of Louisiana. A fairly powerful storm, quite large as well, with a distinct eye on radar imagery, and I'm sure we're going to be looking at that throughout today's live stream. If you're wondering why we've got a different setup, of course it may be well publicised by now. I'm on vacation. Force 13's Holiday HQ, and Jack, of course, and others have been filling in pretty nicely so far. The good news about Francine, though, is that it looks like it's peaked. It is a high-end Category 1. It nearly got to Category 2 status by the looks of things, and it is going to be heading inland fairly soon. By the time we get to about 7 p.m. is what the National Hurricane Center was considering. Of course, hurricane warnings are in effect all along the coast, and hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings further inland, including along the coast of Lake Pontchartrain. Elsewhere in the Atlantic, we've also had the development of Tropical Depression 7, way out in the eastern part of the ocean, and that's moving away from Cape Verde. My name's Nathan Foy, introducing our stream today from Holiday HQ. Unfortunately, I mean, even if I was back at our main desk, I've actually been rather ill as I've been heading out, so it's not been very good for me. So I'm going to be here as backup whilst we hand it over to Jack with the main essence of tonight's coverage. Jack.
Hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, Nathan. Currently on the screen, I have all the I have imagery of Francine, and I've got imagery down in the bottom left of Tropical Storm Bebinca. Now you can see Francine is getting very, very close to the coast now. We currently have it at 90 miles per hour. And here's the warnings on the side from the. There is a tropical storm warning from the Texas-Louisiana border to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge, the U.S. Gulf Coast from Cutoff to Alabama-Florida border, hurricane warnings from the Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge to Cutoff, and the watches for tonight right now stand as, there's no tropical storm watches, but the hurricane watch for the whole of the Lake Pontchartrain coast. I apologise if I pronounced any of that incorrectly. Now, obviously tonight, Charlie, one of the people in this stream, he's going to be flying into Francine. I'm not sure where from.
Wow.
I take us to the team.
New Orleans.
If Charlie wants to share his screen in just a moment. Now we are also joined by Jose here. Hello, Jose.
Hello.
Hello. And you have your stream open. What's your stream showing?
Got radar scope open, and I got the National Hurricane Center's track cone for Francine.
So this is Jose's stream here. Jose's stream here. So this storm's getting very, very close to the coast here. What's your thoughts on that then?
Well, pretty much I'm just hoping, really hoping that everyone is ready and hunkered down for this storm, because even though it's still far, we're still waiting and see what Francine will pretty much throw at them. But mostly I just hope everyone's ready.
And hand it over to Charlie for a moment. Charlie, what's your opinion right now?
Well, the storm surge probabilities have not changed at all since the storm's intensification. So the same storm surge forecast is there. Slightly lower on certain parts of the Mississippi and Alabama coast, but the main landfall site is still up to 10 feet at max when the storm approaches landfall.
Yeah. And if, in case anyone wanted to see the graphic that Charlie is referencing there, I can get it on screen in just a moment, but obviously there's the cone. So this is the graphic Charlie was referencing. You can see the NHC are expecting 5 to 10 feet of storm surge from the Vermilion Bay, extending down to Port Fortune. That says, I think. I can't. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologise. But there you can see the graphic there, and obviously there's other of course other levels of storm surge along the coast here. We got 3 to 5 feet. We've got 1 to 3 feet. We've got 4 to 7 feet. 1 to 2 feet. It extends quite far along the Gulf Coast there. And Nathan, do you have anything to say about that?
It doesn't surprise me to see those kinds of storm surges forecasted. It's a pretty large storm. I just had a quick look at the cone there and the wind field, which is sizable, although the hurricane force wind field is still quite small. Also, looking at satellite imagery earlier today, it certainly had a very robust region of cloud tops on the western side, although the eastern side has been lacking, and that has continued into the course of this afternoon. Although looking quite good on radar, actually, looking at Jose's screen there, and I'm just I'm finding it difficult to see that radar properly. I just want to query: do we know how far the centre of the eye is from the coast now?
Does anyone know?
I can get it calculated.
Charlie
quickly.
can get it calculated. Lovely.
Or find, yeah, I can find the point.
Well, while Charlie does that, if you wish to, sort of get a chip in on what we're doing here, ask any questions, in the live chat, just tag us, say @Force13 in text, and send your message right after that, and I'll get to your message as soon as possible, as soon as I can. Charlie, how's it gone? Have you got that information up?
It is roughly about 66 miles away from the coast.
That's still a long way.
A decent way. That is obviously the centre. The north side of the storm is well into the coast, but the centre of the storm, which would obviously be the landfall site, is 66 miles away.
And that must be a large eye as well. It looked to me as though it may have been 25, 30 miles.
Jose, do you have info on that? I know you've got the radar up.
I was looking at Jose just then. It looked like it was something like 25 or 30 miles. It's obviously oblong. It's not very circular.
Hold on, let me pause this. Okay.
Yeah, it looks as if it's 35 miles actually.
Yeah.
30 miles, 35 miles.
I am intrigued by that radar on the right-hand side, looking very impressive, where satellite shows that there appears to be a structural deficiency. Satellite has shown that it would appear to be weakening. Radar is showing that. I don't know if you guys have got recon info.
I do not, actually.
Go look.
I'm keeping you guys busy.
I'm just going to read some comments here.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, Knowlton,
Yeah, go ahead.
Force 13, how about the disturbance near Florida and Atlanta? Will that become a tropical storm or a hurricane? Now, I'm not sure what you mean by the disturbance near Florida and Atlanta.
Someone was talking about something there, but I don't think there's anything. Jose, just to load up. Is that one current that you're looking at?
Looks like all of these finished by now.
They're all finished, so no one's in there right now.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, they're all finished.
As of
Right.
10 minutes ago. It was
Yeah, I
finished,
believe so.
yeah.
Oh, what was that last? Which one was the most recent? Maybe look into some of those charts.
Mission 14 is the most recent one, isn't it? So there you go.
Could you just go onto the other chart on the left?
This one?
Yeah. I just need to have a little look at that. So yeah, getting decent wins, but they don't. I mean, they certainly don't indicate an upgrade. So that's one thing. We pretty much confirmed not going to get a Category 2 landfall here unless some kind of ground observation just completely turns that on its head at landfall. Pressure lower 970s I'm seeing, is that?
I believe so. E9 looks like 970. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
guess at 972-ish, I think.
So that's what we're dealing with there. And it's quite a low pressure for a category, well, relatively. I mean, there's plenty of category ones at that kind of pressure, but you're definitely looking towards, in fact, it's a very similar intensity to Hannah in 2020.
Oh yes, that one. Yes. I see where you. Yeah, I see where you're coming from there. Charlie, have you got any news on? Well, have you got any closer to flying into the storm yet?
Yes, I just paused it for a second, but I can show my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't know where I am. Okay, I know where I am now.
Right then. So.
I need to get...
Here's Charlie's screen.
I'm heading towards the landfall position, and I'm going to head south so we can get into the storm.
Where did you take off from, Charlie?
Literally just south west of New Orleans. New Orleans.
Homer, maybe?
I think Morgan City.
Ah.
Right, so I will double check on that. I don't know. Ooh, in terms of how far away the storm is from land, it's 62 miles away currently.
Okay, so it's... Yeah, okay. And obviously the eye is quite large, so...
Yeah.
What was that movement speed again?
Moving at 13 miles per hour.
13.
30 miles per hour.
13 miles per hour and northeast. It says on
That's weird. The NHC has it at 16.
Do they?
16 miles per hour, wow.
Yeah, the NHC has it at moving at northeast at 16 miles per hour.
Oh,
okay.
I actually went and checked the NHC.
Oh yeah. There was an update to you, but yeah, literally right now.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's moving at 16 miles per hour now.
Present movement northeast or 40 degrees at 17 miles per hour. I have.
Wait, what? Did you just say there was an update statement?
Yeah, there was by forecaster Kelly.
Oh, they are doing updates. I was surprised earlier that they recently reported sustained winds of 92 and a peak gust of 112, but that's an elevation of 102 feet. And on Eugene Island, recently a sustained wind of 48 miles per hour and a peak gust of 53.
Pretty strong winds, though. Those are down. That's sad.
NHC is doing hourly updates there, yeah.
I thought we lost you for a second because it just went so quiet.
So those cameras there, that'll either be power outage or they've just cut the feed, which depending on where, sometimes they do that.
Yeah, they're down. Well, we lost camera feeds right there.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really expecting to see a huge amount here. It's not massive populations. Of course, there are still some significant settlements there. Houma is...
That is like they might either be close or right into the eastern eye wall.
True. Yeah, could even get the eye there. Hang on, movement.
If it keeps moving at if it keeps that same track with the northeasterly, then maybe they might get into the eye wall. I am not sure, but we just gotta wait and see until it goes over land.
Of course, once it makes landfall, we are expecting rapid weakening, and that is mainly owing to wind shear. The storm has so far been helped along by extremely warm sea surface temperatures, and it shows when you look at the amount of convection it had earlier. But now we're seeing less convection, and that is possibly a product of wind shear there, starting to tear the storm apart a little bit. Although I'm not really seeing obvious signs of that on satellite. But sooner or later, it will be the, well, of course, land interaction as well, coupled together, will cause rapid weakening. They have a tropical depression by, what is it, 24 hours or a bit later?
I think it's a bit later. The last track I saw, it looks like I might weaken to a tropical storm. Then probably on Thursday night or probably morning, it's gonna weaken.
Yeah.
You just yeah. Of course, there is a load of shear.
Yeah, there's like 40 knots shear right now.
Loads of shear.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing from keeping it from strength.
Yeah, that is one thing, and obviously land the other thing. But
Yeah. So, at least the shear is helping out mostly for the storm.
Wow, I
Keeping it
mean,
down.
wind looks like it's blowing in a sort of similar direction to the storm, so it isn't actually having as much of an impact as it would if the storm was directly moving against the shear. And you'll see that on the southwestern side, it looks very jagged on satellite imagery, and that is the shear down there from the southwest. And I don't know if we're looking at Jose's screen, but you can clearly see it on there.
Yes, we
Did
are
we lose
looking at
chart?
Jose's screen.
Oh. Yeah. Looks like mostly
You
like
all
40 to
the
50.
cloud displaced, shoveled up towards the northeast, and that's mainly due to the wind shear.
Yeah. That's good. We don't want this storm to strengthen anymore.
What I imagine it's doing, though, is producing a lot of rain. I've not looked at rain charts.
Give me a second. I don't think radar scope tells inaccurate. I'm not sure, but I did use it a couple times.
Yeah.
Let me see. Exclusive rainfall. Oh, it just gives me hold up.
But just cut back to that visible satellite imagery as well. Is that current?
Yeah, that is right now. I've been refreshing
Well,
it
It looks like
lately.
it's trying to push out an eye.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it. That's what it's.
yeah,
But there's like this weird little gap right here.
Yeah.
It looks like earlier before we even start, it closed up a little, then it just reopened again.
huh?
Well, radar's been showing that.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Look at that. What can we see
Yeah,
the
right
most
there,
recent
right
frame?
there.
Can we see the most recent frame?
I think that is.
Like,
Yeah, I think this is all. This is from a
Yeah.
little past about not that long ago. Yeah,
No,
look,
like-
look at that little eye just.
individual for yeah, there we are. It is clearing its eye out. Trying to anyway.
Yeah.
To an extent. It's just a big question of whether it's closed or not. Could be a big question mark there over whether it is perhaps intensifying or not.
And it's about wait, how much? Who said? How far is it from land?
Me, it's 62 miles from land, roughly.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, rainfalls. Nathan, you ask if I can find it. I already did.
Oh, seeing as the storm is trying to clear out an eye, it does not look very. Even if it is,
Okay,
it
this
does
is
not look
right-
very good on rate. I mean, on infrared imagery, it does not look the best.
It looks like it dropped around like that this much right now. Rain accumulated at this point 6 inches, probably 5. I'm not sure if this is recent or not, but
Well, that'll have been from the last model output.
oh shoot, I forgot these are models. Oh, no, they.
Quite a few different scenarios there, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, wherever the centre of the storm tracks, you're probably looking at between 5 and 10 inches by the looks of things there.
Didn't the NHC put something for that rainfall potential? Oh yeah, the NHC did put something up for rainfall potential. Looks like about 6 to 7 inches, I believe.
See, 8.
I think it's no, around 6 or 7 inches of rain around the area there.
Yeah. I'm going to have to send my apologies. It's too hot to run in here. I mean, my phone's been overheating earlier, so I am actually going to go away here. But hope I've been of some use on tonight's stream.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, Nathan, for the first part, and enjoy your holiday. And we'll.
Hey, we're back on Force 13 Sundays to reveal where I am.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
That's the team figured it out. But now
bugging us for ages.
You've been bugged.
Telling us.
So I'll say goodbye to everyone and back to the team with Francine.
Goodbye, Nathan.
Goodbye.
All right.
Well, here we are. I've got the NHC cone pulled up. It's
Okay, wonderful.
just there, and I'm also, in case anybody was wondering about Bebinca earlier, I have managed to get the latest cone for Bebinca, and I will pull it up now. So Bebinca is no longer forecast to hit Shanghai, but it is going to hit very close to Shanghai. It's just to the south of there. So here we are. Bebinca looks like it's going to have a slow intensification, but once it gets closer to the Ryukyu Islands, it's going to intensify further in the East China Sea, and it looks like it's going to make a major landfall just south of Shanghai. That's what the JTWC are forecasting, and you can see Bebinca down in the bottom left there. That's Bebinca's infrared satellite imagery there. Does any of you two have anything to say about Bebinca before we go over more of Francine, or is it
Nothing too much. It's done its stuff in Guam, and it's weakened a bit. So,
if I'm being honest, I didn't even know Bebinca has formed. I didn't even notice until now.
Oh, you didn't even know that Bebinca was here? Oh, well, we'll go straight to Francine then, guys, shall we?
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I think I was a bit late today.
Well, there we are. Bebinca formed yesterday as well. Well, this is what I will show is this was the cone for Francine yesterday, and the difference that I'm noticing is that if I quickly go back to this cone, the storm's sort of shifted. The cone has shifted further to the east for Thursday morning, and I'm not sure why. That's probably because it's moving a lot faster than it was before. Charlie, do you still have anything about your flight going on in Francine right now?
I'm in a patch of open now. I don't think this is the ice clearing out completely because it's nowhere near where the storm would be, but it's just a little empty spot.
Oh.
The middle of Francine here.
Is there actually a way of you knowing exactly where you are? In fact, I think I might actually be inside of the eye right now. Oh, really?
The very, very, very faint eye of it. It is covered by cloud, but that looks like an eye wall behind me, especially.
Yes. If only you figured out how to get the readings.
It would be.
Well, we'll get Charlie sorted
At least we get.
doing that soon. Now, does anyone want to say anything about Francine other than this flight here? Because the flight is, of course, unofficial. So, Jose, what have you got up on your screen right now? Oh, you've got the cone.
Yeah, the cone right now. I was going through a couple of satellites, to be honest with this. I mean, it looks like it's not looking mostly like a hurricane at this point, even though it still has the strength of a hurricane. It classifies as a
I
hurricane.
think that's because the storm is starting to get sheared a lot, and especially very soon. The storm, or Charlie's update last night, they were expecting over 50 knots of shear, like very rapid shear as well.
Incredible shear increase.
It's going to be sheared a lot more than it already is very soon once it makes landfall. So I myself am expecting a very, very quick weakening after it has made landfall. And what's this you've got up there? You got some radar?
Yeah, radar scope right now. I have the reflectivity and the velocity, so I could check some wind speeds for it.
Go ahead.
For now, it looks like the eastern eye wall is like mostly the strongest one right now.
Yeah.
Northeastern or eastern side. There are a couple of 90, 80s. But we're not gonna talk about. Well, I bet this is like high up in the air, like 130. Yeah, so pretty much is high up in the air.
Not on the surface, no.
Yeah, it's not on the surface. But it looks like mostly around like 90, 80 mile per hour strong winds inside of the eye wall. Now, but the question is, for me, what city or what part of Louisiana is going to get the hardest hit?
In between Franklin and Morgan City is the path it's predicted to take. So, in a southern tiny peninsula coming off of the coast.
If I were to go like that.
With a bunch of islands there.
Yeah. Looks like Chuvian and Homa is going to get into the eye wall.
Yep.
Sadly, I had cameras there, but looks like they're down due to I'm not sure it's power outages or it's just something else. I don't know. But there was one good camera that was in the path of the eye wall, but it's down. So it looks like we might not be able to see the force of Francine.
Right, I'm just going to swap over to here because what you can currently see, that's not Francine on the screen right there, that's Bebinca, but we will see Francine's radar now. There we are. You also saw me for a split second there, but there we are. This is just to see where exactly would get the strongest conditions, and obviously the storm started to blow up a bit of rain cloud on its northeastern side, as Jose was saying earlier, and obviously the strongest part of the storm is the northeastern side. This storm, if I were to like pin where I expect it, where I'm expecting it to make landfall, I think I would say something like. See if there's any names. Well, clearly, obviously, would be Homer, very near Homer, where the storm is on track to right now. In my eyes, what are you guys in agreement with that? What's your thoughts on that before I read some more comments?
I feel like that might be correct. I'm not sure though, but let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
Good thing. The one good thing about Francine right now that it's picking up speed, because couple days ago when it was, in the Gulf, it's been moving very, very slow.
Yeah.
And then now it's moving at 16 miles per hour, which is a good speed for it. Because one, we do not want the storm to slow down because it's going to drop tons of rain and it's going to put too much stress. I think in New Orleans, pipelines right now.
Mm.
So and areas that are easy to get flooded. So that's a good thing that it's moving fast, so it
Well,
won't drop.
My
But it's
main
still.
concern. Sorry.
No, continue.
Okay. I'm very sorry. My main concern is this this storm surge, particularly the storm surge that says like 5 to 10 feet, 4 to 7 feet, 2 to 4 feet around this low-lying land area here, around Fortune, mouth of the Mississippi River, as definitely, just anywhere along this southeastern part, this very far southeastern part of Louisiana. This very low-lying land, and that will be a key factor for this storm surge that will be coming in from this storm, particularly on the eastern side of the storm, because the winds are pushing on shore on the eastern side. That's that graphic there. And Jose, would you like to go back to what you were saying? I apologise.
No, that was all I was gonna say about the rainfall.
Oh, okay. I will go
Yeah.
ahead and read some comments then. Saheb plays 50 plus knots of shear is bad. However, for a tornado threat, which could overperform as there are plenty of lifting mechanisms, so likely robust supercell activity within 65 plus dew points, yes. Obviously, as Burke said on the stream yesterday, in case anyone wasn't there, Burke was saying there is a significant chance for these tornadoes to form in this storm. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. I'm just gonna go read some more comments. For Hurricane Alton Ron says 413, any lightning bolts in the hurricane now. Now, seeing as Jose's on Ram B, do you reckon you'd be able to get the hurricane bolt, the hurricane bolt, the thunderbolts, or anywhere? Would you be able to do that, seeing as you're sharing your screen right now?
Wait, what was it again?
Any lightning bolts in the storm? Sorry.
Mostly windy is the one that normally gives me the amount of lightning strikes easily.
Yeah.
But turns out right now, looking at windy, let me go
Doesn't
at
look like
the
there's many.
right now. Windy right now at 3:30, which is it's about like 5 minutes old right now. Well, for me, because it's 3:35 p.m. for me right now, so it's 5 minutes old. Looks like there is some lightning strike almost outside of the eye wall.
Yeah, and that also is on the eastern side, or northeastern, eastern side there, as you were saying, was the main side, which is going to be a problem really, as that moves in.
Yeah, right now, I didn't even touch my mouse and it just zoomed in. Alright. But right now, it looks like there is no lightning around the eye or in the eye, just mostly in the eastern part, which is mostly the strongest one right now.
Yes.
Because earlier, like a few hours ago, the northwestern eye wall was the strongest. Now the eastern eye wall is the strongest.
Yeah, as Charlie was saying yesterday as well.
Yeah.
The storm's been mainly north or east heavy.
It has been.
Well, in the most part. Charlie, have you got any anything for us? Any visuals for us, like the right now, or?
I can go and get some stuff. Have we gone over wind shear graphics?
Yes, we have.
Wind shear graphics. We have, yes. But if you've got the multi-model diagnostics, you can bring.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll show that then. I will show that.
Oh, it looks like there's a little gap opening around the eye. On the windy radar right now, I'm looking at. There's like a little gap right now opening up.
Maybe that could be distance, but yeah.
Yeah, That's what I was gonna say too. Probably distance, or it's probably the storm itself.
Alright, let's have a look at what Charlie has brung up for us. Let's see. Here we are. So Charlie, have a way.
So, well, I guess we'll go with intensity. So we are very, very close to peak. In fact, I think most models have it peaking about now, before it then falls off, which would make sense. Especially because of the shear, which is reaching its point when it makes landfall, going well above 40 knots into the 50s there. And staying like that for a while, so this thing will be sheared until it's gone, really.
Yeah. But that's also that tornado threat, as Sahad Blaze, I believe it was, saying earlier. What does the sea surface temperatures look like as well for the rest?
Sea surface temperatures will slowly drop.
Doesn't matter that much.
It will slowly drop before it gets closer to land, and then once it hits land, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it will slowly drop as we approach the coast. Same here. Pretty much all models apart from TTCX seem to be pretty consistent on the drop on the 13th, 12th to 13th. And same with the position. However, a lot of models differ on the location of landfall. However, GFS is the most likely position of landfall.
Either of the HFS models, HFS-A and especially HFS-B, look at that track. A very odd forecast track there.
That is an incredibly odd forecast track.
That's weird.
I have no idea what that implies or anything.
Don't tell me that thing is gonna stall.
Track.
They're all relatively going the same direction until it gets to about, well,
of course,
mid.
A storm. It's just gonna. They're all taking this storm right through Mississippi as well, so cause some tropical storm force winds there, and definitely, maybe even hurricane force gusts, but most likely tropical storm force gusts.
Yep.
In that area, especially since the storm's getting sheared.
I will just zoom out here to show the whole thing. If I was there.
Now, I'm gonna go back over to the radar. Charlie, have you seen the radar yet? Do you have anything to say about the radar?
Not too much apart from the northeastern eye wall and the northeastern part of the storm in general being quite
solid.
Solid, yeah. And that's where most of the however, I did see some cloud tops in the southwest of the storm. However, that doesn't really change too much to the radar at all.
Yeah, as I'm looking at this, these latest frames, well, it appears that just like what Jose was saying, the southern side of the storm, looks like it's like sort of opening up slightly.
Yes.
On the precipitation side of things. If I go back to Jose's screen, if it can load.
Yeah, and any cameras in the area will be nice, but obviously
For cameras. Okay, so mostly all these cameras on this part is going to be on the weaker side of the eye wall, but on this part, this part near Morgan City, this is where they're going to get the most strongest eye wall, the eastern side. But sadly, one of these cameras are not, well, I think it's they just cut it off for now because of usage, for power usage. I'm not sure.
And that
oh, there goes the car.
Where's that place? Is that place I don't think I can remember. Let me have a look. It is Morgan City is I think that's on the border between 5 feet to 10 feet and 4 feet to 7 feet, I believe. I'm not fully sure there, but either way, if you go ahead and look at some contours for the land there, it's very low lying land, and that surge is going to be
that surge will go in.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, right now it's like quiet right now on these cameras,
Hmm.
but it's all gonna go downhill in a few hours as Francine gets closer and closer. Oh, there goes the power. There goes the one of those power trucks. I forgot what they're called. Um, what's it called again? I kind of forgot the name, but it looks like it's heading on to the areas where they might lose power, which is good. Right now, everything is quiet on some of these cameras, but all these cameras are gonna go down.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there goes. You could see like the flag. I don't know if that's a flag or something flapping in the winds. Oh yeah, you
I
could tell by the
think I can
trees.
see it if I. Oh, here we
Yeah,
are.
right.
That's much
Yeah,
better.
there.
Yep, I do
Forgot this
see.
has a zoom in. Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like the camera's shaking a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the reason these cameras are a little weird now.
Hmm.
I tried refreshing everything, but I think we only have like a split second, minute for watching this before it all goes out.
Yeah.
You
Now.
could see the trees swaying a little bit in the winds. You could tell, look at by the rain, how they're moving.
Yes. I
Yeah, it
mean,
looks like northeastern.
they're currently experiencing the edge of the tropical storm force winds of
Yeah.
the hurricane.
All
Hurricane
cars are
force winds
parked.
are still a bit.
Looks like some people put up. Oh, there goes the camera a little, shaking a bit. Looks like some plywoods are up on the windows right now and doors in this little
Yeah.
building over here. It's a bit pixely though, but you could make out a little. Either
Yeah.
way, everything is
Now I'm gonna pull
starting
up
to.
this topographic map in just a moment if I can
Alright.
quickly go over
Yep,
here. There
there
we
goes the
are.
camera.
So
CVS's
I go
windows are
like
boarded up as
this.
well.
Here we are. So this is what I mean with how I cannot stress this enough. Look at these. This is like Morgan City right there. Very, very low. That's like 5 meters. So this storm surge, it will come along quite a lot of these areas
Ooh, big dust.
if there is a high storm surge, and seeing as wherever this storm wherever the storms
Whoa, whoa.
northeastern side hits, or eastern side, anywhere on that side, I think that's gonna have the highest storm surge, seeing as that the winds are on land, everything is pushing in towards land, and wherever that hits, that'll probably be around this area here that I'm just over. Dulac, Shorevin, Homer. Well, Homer's a bit further in, but yeah, definitely Homer. So once the storm goes in, there will be there won't be as much too much rain, but there will be a lot of rain. The storm surge though will be very, very high. Looking at this topographic map here, and even when it gets to Lake Pontchartrain, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, the storm surge will still be fairly high, because the storm surge will be fairly irresistible when it gets on land because of
Yeah.
this topographic map. Look at this. Even the city here is only just above sea level. It is very,
Yeah.
very low lying land. So that is one thing. That is one thing to say there. Now I'm gonna go back to Jose's stream. Here we are. What were you looking at now? We're on a different camera. It's shaking a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Earlier when you were talking, I'm not sure if it's a storm chaser or if it's a civilian in the air that lives in Louisiana, where they were talking to an officer.
Ah.
There was a police officer that where that little car right there is stopped right there.
Yes.
and there was a truck right here. They were talking to each other.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's a storm chaser or a civilian. So,
Hmm.
but right now the winds looks like are picking up right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's getting very shaky at this point.
Yeah. Can see the difference. Now, Charlie, do you have anything to say at all? I go back onto your
Um,
screen. There's,
don't have anything showing. However,
however.
the storm is roughly about 55 miles away from landfall now.
Oh, really? So it's getting much closer there. All right then.
I'm looking for another camera view.
Well, just saying, guys, if you're new here, we're currently tracking Hurricane Francine and Tropical Storm Bebinca, but nowhere near as closely as Hurricane Francine. Francine's landfall is expected within the next 6 hours, I believe, and we are closely tracking this storm as it makes a run for a landfall in Louisiana. If you would like to ask us any questions, just type in the live chat at Force13 in text, and I'll make sure I can get to your message as soon as possible. And we've also got Charlie and Jose here as well. If you want to ask them a question, if you want to ask either of us a question or just any of us, it doesn't matter. But either of us, you can just say who you want to ask a question. We've got Jose, we've got Jack, which is me, and then we've got Charlie. Now, Charlie's got the multi-model diagnostic comparison up. We looked at that earlier, so I might just put up this here. This is what I was going over just a minute ago. The topographic map I looked at just a moment ago. If you're new to the stream. And the land where this storm surge is expected is very low lying land. So, and especially for the eastern side of where this storm makes landfall, I'm quite worried for how this is going to play out, because the low lying land plus 5 to 10 feet of storm surge, 4 to 7 feet, it's really it's not going to be hard for that storm surge to get onto land. This is the NHC's graphic there as well. Now the graphic will update in around 10 minutes, because they've got the advisory updates are hourly now as this storm gets closer and closer to Louisiana. If I go back to the team, what do any of you want to say anything now and clock in before I read some more comments, if there are any? I'll go to Jose's screen once it loads. There we are. So we're looking at a different camera now. Go ahead, Jose.
Well, is that yep, that's a police. Nope.
Is it? Oh.
No. It almost looked like it. Almost looked like police officer.
Yep.
Looks like
No.
mostly everyone that's coming into Louisiana are mostly storm chasers. But what I do want to say is, as you know, Francine is moving on shore, almost very close. Not on shore, but it's getting closer now. It's. I feel like it's gonna be too late to evacuate right now.
And this storm is moving very quickly.
Yeah. If you decide to like stay and you make last minute decision and say, okay, no, I want to leave for now, it's gonna be too late, because now that the eyes gonna be coming on, you're gonna be experiencing the eye wall, which is not a good idea to be driving, because pretty much they are saying that it's gonna be dropping lots of rain because of flooding, and you don't want to be driving into deep waters on the road. But mostly, just for now, if you decide to stay, just hunker down. Please stay away from windows. And even though if you boarded up your windows, there's still projectiles that might penetrate through, woods or sometimes metals. I don't think I've never seen metals, any projectiles penetrate through metals, but I did see from some plywood. But either way, just stay safe, stay away from power lines, stay away from deep waters, don't drive into it. just stay, and we don't want to see any casualties or deaths from this storm. That's all I hope for. I don't want to see no deaths
Just
because
Nope.
as you
it's
were
not.
explaining
Yeah,
there, Jose, it looks like the rain and the wind, with the trees swaying in the background, has started to
yeah.
pick up as well while you were explaining
Oh, there
there.
goes a police
Oh
officer.
yeah, police.
Yeah, yep, there he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So as
I
you were
just.
saying, if you are
Yeah,
in the track of where this storm's going or anywhere near, do you and you have decided to leave, or you're gonna have to prepare to hunker down and like get in, like if you have like if you have a basement sort of thing, get into any area where you're safe from debris. But the thing is, the water is my main problem
yeah.
with this storm.
Because water is the mostly
So
of a killer than wind.
yeah, so please be aware of that as well.
Yeah.
Charlie, do you have anything else to add? Seeing it, I'm just trying to move along to other people and all sorts.
Yep. I will bring something up
Okay. Let's have a look at your
in a.
screen.
I'll just
Pad.
bring it up. Bring it up now.
Okay then. Well, I'm on your screen right now. You're looking at NHC.
So NHC, yeah. So there is a new experimental cone,
Oh yeah.
and it shows the range of the hurricane warnings and the tropical storm warnings. And you can see the wind field estimates here. So the tropical storm wind fields have gone into land, which is shown clearly on Jose's camera.
Oh, it went out.
As soon as I say that, it goes. However, the center of the storm is slowly, I say slowly, actually quite quickly,
Yeah.
approaching land, and that is that has came quite close to land since the last cone was put up, I've seen. The hurricane wind fields have not expanded at all. In fact, I think they've gotten smaller, if anything. But yeah, these areas
Yeah.
exactly.
The storm's movement speed is it's very well. It's not stationary at all. The movement
No.
speed is increasing. So the storm now, I think, what's it going 17 miles per hour northeast now?
17 miles per hour northeast at 40 degrees.
Yeah. So this storm's going to be going much quicker very soon.
Yep.
And when we get this new advisory out in around 5 minutes, we'll bring you the info. I think Charlie looks like he might, seeing as he's on the page right there.
I am on the page. I will bring up the advisory as soon as it
And the
comes
graphics,
around.
yes.
And the graphics.
There we are. Let me just check if there's any comments. No one has sent any comments in, but if you guys are willing or want to track storms with us, we do have a public server at discord.gg/force13, I think it is. Charlie, am I right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
There is a North Atlantic section where everyone can express their feelings on Francine freely in our public server.
Yeah. All sorts of chat rooms in there. So if I go back over here, we can have a look at the updated imagery on Francine. If I updated infrared imagery. Oh wow! So the storm's convection has gone right down, but you can see that eye starting to actually take shape on this infrared imagery that I'm showing right there. And at the bottom left, that's Bebinca, so we're not focusing on that right now. You can see the warnings and watches on the sidebar just there. And I read them out earlier when we started with the stream. But yeah, you can see clearly now on infrared imagery that this eye is now starting to take shape as it gets closer to land. Now, Jose, do you have anything else to show? Any other cams?
I mean, right now I'm still looking at cameras, but I am gonna pull up the radar scope for now.
Oh, there we are.
To see. Well, I mean, there's a couple of oh, never mind. If this was up, I think it would have been much closer to this, but I have to choose only these two Doppler radars. But just looking at it, it just looks, I say it, beautiful. Not like in, like a way to say,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait for this to take
No.
damage. Not like that. It's like something so fascinating to see how a structure of an eye and then the eye wall comes in.
Yeah.
But either way, this is still destructive hurricane. Even at a category 1, category 1s can still do good damages.
Yeah, there's like sometimes people say, "Oh, it's only a category 1." This
Yeah.
is still a hurricane, so when this arrives, it is
Yeah.
going to cause a great deal of damage and definitely flooding. Please be aware of the flooding, as I've
Yeah.
said. I've
If
said
I
so many
can,
times.
I'm gonna. Yeah, if this is gonna be something personal this is something personal for me. Let's go back 7 years ago. Yesterday was the 7-year anniversary of Hurricane Irma.
Oh yes.
I live on the east coast of Florida.
Hmm.
Looking how massive Irma was, covering the whole state.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Actually.
the whole state. As
I remember
me,
seeing that.
yeah, we were experiencing hurricane force gust far away from the center. And I can remember I was going to my uncle's house. We stayed there because we were like a little nervous because it was a category 4 when it hit Big Pine Key.
Yeah.
Then it weakened down to a category 3. But after the hurricane passed, we came back. I came back home. A big, large tree was knocked down by hurricane force gust. We were not even near the center. You can see how, even though the center, the worst impact, you're gonna still feel impacts far from the center. It's not always gonna be focused on the main center because impacts can happen far. That's how all hurricanes are. It's not always about the center. It's about the how far the damages can go from.
Yeah.
For me, like I was in the East Coast. I'm nowhere near the center of Hurricane Irma, yet we experienced a lot of damages. But either way, that's how it is for Francine. Big, we don't even know what the damages could look like far away from hurricane force to tropical storm force winds. But we have to wait and see. But right now, looking at the radar, it just looks nice. The eye wall is nice, but it's very deadly right now.
Yeah, I think the main sentence you're going for there is it is constructed well on radar, but not constructed very well on satellite.
Looking at satellite, it just looks like it fell apart, like completely, just fell apart. But on radar, you can still see that strong northeastern eye wall. Looks like it's moving up north now. Look at the northern eye wall. Looks strong.
Yeah, it will be. It will be pushing that way, going round. It does look very good.
Yeah.
On radar.
Right now, like I'm just hoping and praying that everyone is ready and taking this serious, because me personally, I don't like seeing deaths happen because it kind of makes me emotional. Like, because it hurts to see people lost their life to this hurricane, tropical storm, tropical depression, a low pressure system, or an area to wash, or something like that. It's bad. Like, it's not something no one wants to hear, that this fatality happened because of this hurricane. It's something no one doesn't want to hear, because I want everyone to make it out alive from this storm.
That is definitely what we're all thinking right now.
Yeah.
Charlie, it is the we're at the top of the hour now. Have you got any refreshes here and now? Any changes with?
I do, yes.
You do.
I've got an update. Exactly.
So, just put out something.
Francine's eye wall is now nearing southern Louisiana.
Yeah, I just got the update right now when you just said that.
Yep. Hurricane force winds in northern Iowa, Francine, and they're in the coast of southern Louisiana. Now is the time to stay inside and away from windows, have multiple ways to receive warnings and updates.
I'm just going to read a comment as well. Marlene, has that area recovered from the last hurricane? Well, when was the last hurricane, actually? I don't know. It was
The area for
quite a
Louisiana?
while ago, though, wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Where
It was
it
a bit ago.
The last major hurricane. No.
Or the
Not
last
major, but hurricane in general.
Oh, the hurricane in general. I'm not
I-
sure because I only know Ida was the last major hurricane, but specifically for hurricanes, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I don't know exactly.
Well, I do know that this area was affected by storms like Claudette 2021, Ida 2021, and
Ida.
in 2022, not that I can remember, and 2023.
Maybe
Of course.
Beryl might have done some effects to western
Beryl.
Louisiana.
But of course, my as far as my memory goes, the most recent storm that's gone anywhere near that area and affected that area is Idalia, and that hit the Florida Bend region. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Oh,
been
yeah, I remember.
many storms in a long time. But yeah,
Not in this
continue what you were
specific.
saying.
Yeah, not in this specific area. I don't know how far Beryl's reach was into Louisiana, but I'm pretty sure this area hasn't been affected for a bit. For a hurricane. And it's not to mention tropical storms. I'm sure there's been many tropical storms that affected this area, but...
Well, yeah, Charlie, continue what you were reading out.
Yeah, so it is about 60 miles away from Morgan City and 115 miles away from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Still 90 miles per hour max sustained winds. Still moving 70 miles per hour at 40 degrees. And the pressure's dropped by 1 millibar. It's now 975.
You.
So it's got more intense then.
Yes.
Good thing the winds are still at the same.
Okay.
Looks like power outages are going on right now at this point.
So
I'm
the storm
using
is getting much closer.
Yeah.
How close is it? 50
Yeah.
miles now? Almost 50 miles?
Yes. Roughly.
50 miles.
Oh man. This is a bit.
Well, the eye does
intense
look
right now.
much better than it did.
Yep.
But the storm, I was saying earlier, the cone has shifted. What I'm thinking of it as well, it's shifted much
what the
further to the east than they were expecting, than anyone was expecting. So the storm is going more towards the east rather than going north of Morgan City. It looks like it's going to make a landfall around Dulac and Chauvin, sort of that area, and it looks like it might even pass right over Homer and New Orleans, which is I did see that it is heading more on the east side of the cone. So
Wow, that eye is popping out
guys'
very
thoughts
good.
on that? Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the eye's popping out really good on satellite on the last image. Let me go the last. Yeah, that eye looks like it's popping out really good. Look at that big convection on northeastern over on land right now. Wow, looks like this storm might strengthening a little bit more before landfall.
Yeah, I do think this storm
Yeah.
looks very good actually.
Yeah, it's looking.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. That is not good. Not good.
at all. Because
The
if
storm is
they're
moving
forecasting it,
extremely fast.
yeah, that's one thing good. Yeah,
And it's
I
moving
did look at the
quickly too.
NHC. It looks like it is moving at 17 miles per hour right now.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a good speed to keep it up. So it looks like strengthening might be closing off right now as it gets closer and closer.
Yes. Charlie, is there any other graphics or anything more you wanted to say?
Not too many more graphics I can show.
Can you see the
I have put up
storm
on my
surge
screen
one?
the advisory itself. The storm surge one, I can bring that up, yep. I'll just leave the advisory up there for a
As we know.
second.
low-lying land, as I've said, a lot of, well, loads now. Very prone to deep intrusion of storm surge. So Charlie, what can you see with this map then? Explain what you're...
This is the coastal storm surge, and if I go back onto the cones, then here you can see the... Is that storm? No, that's warning, so it will have to be this one here. So
I was gonna say this really quick. I'm so sorry for interrupting, but there's
yeah?
a flash flood in effect for Louisiana right now.
Oh
yes,
yes, there we are.
huge flash flood.
Oregon City, and I think parts of Generetti. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing things incorrectly, but those are under flash flood warnings, I believe, right now.
Yes, I do see that. Yes, I am checking the comments for anyone who wants to ask any questions. It doesn't look like there's many people, but I'm just gonna say one another time. If you would like to ask any of us any questions, just type @Force13 in text and send it in the live chat, and we'll be as quick as we possibly can to reply to your message. I might even ask Charlie and Jose for their opinions on your message once you send it through, depending if I know the answer or not, or if I would like to let them have a go at answering a question. Charlie, is there that rainfall potential graphic there as well? Could we have a look at that on your screen?
Yes, there's rainfall potential.
Huge rainfall potential on the coast of Lake Pontchartrain, I believe it is called. I'm not familiar with the name, but a huge amount of rainfall there, because as I was saying, as I thought the storm was doing, the storm has gone further to the east. So where this storm is going...
It has, yeah.
Yeah. So now, it was before going to affect New Orleans on its east, they were predicting. Now we're seeing more like it's going to affect New Orleans and Homer and other places along that path directly. And seeing as this storm has such a large eye and is going moving very quickly, that's obviously quite a problem, especially for tornadoes popping up anywhere near, or anywhere in Mississippi once it gets further inland, as we saw from that comment earlier. Jose, have you got anything more to say about the rainfall? I know you've said quite a bit about the rainfall already. Any more? I'll come over to your screen.
Well, pretty much I just, like always, just stay away from waters, because you exactly don't even know how deep it is until you even get into it or drive into it. But if you drive into it deep water, it is going to be too late to know, because if your car starts to float away, you're putting yourself at a huge risk, and first responders. But the problem is now, first responders are not going to be not on duty, but on site right now, because they normally wait after the hurricane or tropical storm before they go and save lives. But if you put yourself in that position, you might have to wait until the storm passes. So I advise that if you want to drive, think about your life first. If you want to drive it, you're gonna take that risk. You can do it, but mostly just don't do it.
No.
Just don't. It's not worth it. If you think you can make it, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Just don't do it, because
Be very careful now.
Just please do not drive through. Yeah, just know that your life is more important.
Yeah.
Because like everyone says, you only live once. So do not put your life at a huge risk, or don't put life of first responders at risk.
I'm gonna hop over to the comments now, the chat that we're getting in now. I see from Skeletor Titan, Force 13. Do you all think this is going to be a Cat 2 in landfall? Personally, I personally don't think it will be. It could have the chance to, but the chances are going down. It's being sheared heavily, so I don't think it would.
Yes.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
think so.
honest.
Hmm.
I don't think so, but might keep that little chance for Francine to probably reach category 2, but either way, I'm gonna keep it mostly a high that it won't do it. Just because of the wind shear right now and the land interaction that's about to touch right now, so category
And
2 might be nothing.
and then another comment from the same person. Also, what's going to cause the storm to stall in southern Illinois? Now, I looked at that and I haven't touched on it yet. I think, from what I saw earlier, interaction with a high pressure may cause that, but I haven't seen that properly. So we'll go over that later, maybe if that means anything yet. And also, Invest 93E has been designated, has it? Okay.
Apparently, to some people, I haven't seen it come up yet for me, but yeah, I saw someone say that in chat.
And someone says, "Don't you have radar?" Well, we have been showing quite a bit of radar, but here's some radar here. I can just refresh it as well, see if there's a further update. But that's the Force 13 radar, the latest Force 13 radar of the storm approaching Louisiana. Charlie, how close is it to landfall now? What's the distance in miles?
I'll check at its current direction.
While Charlie's doing that, the storm's eye is about 35 miles wide, 30 miles wide. It's not a perfect circle, obviously. Neither is any storm really. But this about 35 miles, 30 miles wide for this eye. So you will get eye wall conditions sooner than you think if you live anywhere near the coasts. So
Yep.
prepare for that. Charlie, what would you like to go over? I'll take a look at your
From
screen
its
if you want.
original path, it is about 44 miles away. However, in its current direction it's taking, it is only 30 miles away from landfall.
Ah, there we are. So that is getting much closer than it was before.
Much closer.
And someone also says, do you have live cameras right now? Well, Jose was showing some of them earlier. So, Jose, would you like to show some more live cameras for this person here?
Yeah.
And
By the
just
looks of things,
before you show them live cameras,
Yeah.
you've got another comment. How about Invest 92L? Will it become a hurricane? I haven't looked at that storm much. I haven't actually looked at that system much yet.
I can pull up the satellite of it if you want.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I lowered this storm to a 30% chance or a 40% chance last night. I'm not sure what it is yet. I will I'll run over it later with Charlie when we put out the tropical weather bulletin light. But we'll have that info in the light bulletin when it comes out at 0Z, I believe that when it comes out, which will probably involve Francine's landfall as well.
Yep.
Let's have a quick look over here. So then, go ahead.
Okay, apparently 68 kilometers from landfall.
Oh, hold on. 68 what?
Maybe, have I got the wrong location? Probably 68 kilometers from landfall, so it's still a bit to go.
Yeah. Okay then. Go on then, Jose.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
by the looks of things, the radars in near Homa looks like this might be not did I say radars? I meant cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like by the looks of things of these cameras, looks like this camera might be the only one that's still active.
Yeah, the one
Because
we
the
were
rest of the
looking at
cameras
earlier,
the rest of the ones I've been looking at, they've been down. So
Oh, yeah.
but it
You
looks
can
at
keep that up
but
if
I
you
can
want.
tell you, yeah.
Go ahead.
But the thing is, that the one thing I like about this camera, because now you got the trees, and sadly you got someone's house right there. The
Hmm.
one thing that worried about me is trees falling down on it.
Yeah, as
That
you
is,
did say earlier with the
yeah,
Irma flashback sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Irma's, yeah. And plus I think there was one with Debbie that made
Oh.
landfall around Florida. I think a mother and a daughter died in a house due to a tree collapse on
Oh.
them.
Yeah. That is a.
I think it was, yeah, I think, I'm not sure if it was from Debbie or Beryl, but it was one of those two. But I did hear something about a tree falling down on someone's home, killing a mother and a daughter,
Oh
which
goodness.
is,
Yeah, you do have
yeah,
to. If you're in anywhere in the park, I don't. It doesn't matter where you are. Anywhere in the path of where this storm has tropical storm warnings, hurricane watches, anything, you need to hunker down and be aware that the storm surge is going to be rather high, depending on how far you're inland. Obviously, if you're on the coast, you've got to be very, very careful, and less careful of the storm surge if you're further away from the coast, as obvious. But the winds, as Jose was mentioning there, falling trees or any type of flying debris really, flooding, that's still a concern. Like, just because you're inland does not mean the storm surge. Oh, there's no storm surge. You're fine. That does not mean that you will be fine. The winds and the flooding will still be an issue, seeing as we were looking at it on radar just a moment ago with Jose. The storm
mhm,
is going to be making landfall relatively soon,
yeah,
probably in about 3 hours, within 3 hours. Um,
mhm. Probably more
so,
than less than 3 hours, to
yeah,
be honest.
around 2 hours. So,
Probably two or two
if
and a
you
half,
are
yeah,
anywhere
but
there, you've got to be aware of
ready.
all those things I have said. And I'm just going to have a look at more comments if there is any. Um, will wind shear be a problem for 7L? I have. I honestly, I'm going to
Seven.
answer that honestly. I have
Oh,
no idea. I'm going to ask my team. Do you have any idea about that?
yes. Give me a quick second for wind analysis.
Hmm. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
it's way out. Oh no. I think it might not. Oh, it does. I'm surprised it does show now. Okay. For 7L, looks like wind shear might be a little bit of a problem,
Hmm.
but though I think the path that it's taking, it looks like it might keep it from wind shear for a little while before it runs into one. But looks like there is some, like, looks like 30 to 25 knots, almost close to de depression 07. But either way, I think wind shear might not be a problem, but it might be later on.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that, Jose.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and look at some more comments and see if you guys want to answer them. If I don't know, or if I pass it to you. We've got another one from Skeletor Titan. Thanks for answering my questions, especially getting it from the people that actually experienced being in these tropical cyclones. That is what well, what the idea is. Icon hinting at Iona 180 hours out. Wow.
Really? I'm gonna have a look at that.
Yeah, go ahead,
Mm.
Charlie. And then we've got another one. It's currently
Yeah.
the peak of hurricane season. Do you all know why there's so much wind shear? That's mainly down to the jet stream, to be fair,
Yeah.
and other, like,
I mean,
well,
by the looks of
lack of
things,
hydration.
like, by the looks of things right now, looks like the Atlantic is starting to wake up right now, because now you got Francine, now
Hmm.
you got Tropical Depression 7.
Yeah, and it usually
It
does
just
around this
now,
time of year
yeah,
as well. So
yeah.
yeah,
At this time, it just looks like the Atlantic is maybe we're finally starting to wake up. We
I've
still
always
got
felt
2 months
like
to go.
the peak
Yeah,
date September 10th is a bit too
yeah,
early. I feel like it should be something like September 15th, 20th, but that any time in
Yeah.
September, really. Maybe pushing into October a bit, and
Yeah.
of course into August a slight bit. Any time in that
Yeah.
frame, that just don't even worry about the date. It doesn't matter about any numbers. It's just that's the frame where peak hurricane season is, and that's when most of the key risks happen. I believe 90% of the activity happens in that window that time window that I was just saying there. Charlie, is there anything more you wanted to bring up on your screen? Now I'm going to just move over to it. If there's anything.
Nothing really, no.
Nothing?
I think that is everything on Francine I have to show.
We've covered Francine quite a bit. Would you like to go over and take a look at Bebinca for 5 to 10
Yep.
minutes before we move back to Francine? Because Francine is our main focus for tonight. And we're not forgetting about our storm. We'll be going back straight back to Francine's information right after. So while Charlie brings that up, we'll just wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest to you, Jack. I think the camera that we've been looking at already is gonna be the only one up because the rest of the cameras around here in the area are not gonna last. So looks like this camera is gonna be the only source to see the true power of Francine.
I'm just gonna.
And yeah, the eye wall is getting very, very close by.
Pan back to that camera for the moment, or what? Your screen.
Yeah, it's right here. The camera. Yeah,
Yeah, there
this is
it
the
is.
still. Yeah, it's still the same camera. This. Yeah, you could see the.
Oh yes, there we are. Much
swaying.
more windy conditions there. The
Yeah.
rain hasn't changed too much. It doesn't look like.
Yeah.
But
And you can
of
see the
course.
trees leaves are getting ripped right now because before I think I'm
Yeah.
not sure when I last checked there was good like leaves everywhere, but now they all got shredded. So it looks like either
It doesn't look like the trees have very good stability.
yeah, they're swaying. And I don't know what this pole is about.
Hmm.
And it kind of concerns me
Might have
because
something to
I don't
do
know how
with
deep
the lights.
yeah, I don't know how deep that pole is into the ground. We don't want that, going anywhere. I think that's the bay over there. There's water over there. It looks like
Oh yeah,
like off
I see
the
what you
camera.
mean.
Yeah, it looks like that's
Where
water.
is this? Where is this camera? Exactly.
Oh, let me move this. Oh no, I might be. Oh, this is looking at this one right here.
Ah, yes.
I can't tell exactly what direction it's looking at. Unless it's right here, you could see this little bear right here. Unless it's looking at that. Oh wait, I think that's. Oh, is it the camera? Yeah. It looks like it's pointing at this buildings right here. You could tell by
Yeah.
the trees. So it looks like it's
What
looking at
town is that
something
in?
out here. In the city of Homa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like water in the distance. Probably looking at here in this area. Look like a river, or this one right here. Kind of looks like a river. Probably that's where it's pointing at. Oh, no, not that camera.
Well, I'm just breaking
that
news here.
camera.
Recon have confirmed Cat 2 wins. Looking
You're
in the comments
joking.
here. Yeah.
Really?
Recon have confirmed Cat
joking.
2 wins. So
Okay.
Francine is now a Category 2 storm.
Oh no.
Oh wow. Wait, let's have a look at this.
Yeah,
You're
fact check
actually
it
joking.
quickly.
Category 2. Oh no,
And
this
once you
just
fact
got.
check that, if we get
Fact
the
check.
signal that Charlie is fact checked it and it is indeed
Wait,
Cat 2, then
where that person got it from? Where did that person got it from?
Yeah, where'd you get it from?
We need it
just
now.
await an answer then.
99 knot flight winds. Wow.
99. Oh gosh, bro. This is not what I wanted to hear. Category 2. I mean, Category 2 was still in the
Yes.
car.
Whoa, there we are, Category 2 then. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Now it's getting serious.
Okay.
Yes.
This is
Just gonna
serious now,
Head
guys.
back over here, and I'm going to update this imagery that we've got on the screen there it is. That's the updated imagery. The eye doesn't look too good, but at all for a Category 2 storm. But ignore the bar on the side. It's Category 2 now. I believe the pressure was 975 millibars. You guys said earlier.
Yeah,
And there is
I think it might have
So-
gone down.
radar. Let's refresh that too. If that wants to refresh.
Okay.
There we are. So the storm is getting very close. I think the eyewall's rain is already on land there. As I'm looking at this radar, it is already on land. So this storm has last minute intensified to Category 2 status.
Wow.
Which is
Wow. That
there
was
we
so
are.
impressive.
Breaking news.
Currently standing at they get a 972 reading recently. I don't want to
Did they?
fact check that one.
Oh no, that is I. It's just I'm at lost the words right now. I wasn't expecting Category 2, but now
Neither was
hearing
I.
it, it's
I
just
thought
it's
it
gonna
was over,
yeah.
but like more
It's just
intensification.
gonna yeah. It's gonna double the damage now from a Category 1. Like a Category 1 can still cause good damage, but if you're talking about
Yeah.
Category 2, you're talking like about big trees, decent trees falling down, some damages to roofs, probably windows might be blown out. Like it's just like already doubling the damage right now.
So we are talking 100 miles per hour, 975 or 972 millibars, depending on.
Depending on what kind
Yeah,
of
so that
like
will
there's
change the
105
T-coast as well.
Yeah, that will. Code red,
I
obviously.
actually will update the T-coast now. While I'm doing that, either of you want to explain anything while I'm getting on with that? I won't be able to talk while I'm doing that, so I can focus.
Yeah, don't worry. We can keep on talking.
Go ahead then, guys, and I'll be back with you in just a moment with Francine's code.
Alright.
Yep.
Like everyone heard right now, Francine is now a Category 2 hurricane. Is there like a max wind speeds already for Francine at this point, Charlie?
I will try and find any. I haven't managed to find any of those Category 2 recon estimates, but I don't know if I'm looking at the right thing specifically, so we'll find out.
So, like I said earlier, everyone, that this might double more the damage if, well, it's gonna double more the damage from even from a Category 1. Right now, this is a very dangerous situation and life-threatening. Storm surge is still high, and by the looks of things, looking at the last satellite um frame, that eye is kind of opening a little bit. Kind of. I don't know if you could tell, Charlie, but it's kind of opening a little bit. Like there's like a little brief opening, then it just closes.
Yep.
Yeah. But yet again, please stay inside, stay indoors, do not go out, because once this eye wall comes fully on shore with max power, there's gonna be a lot of debris flying in the air, and it's not a good time to be outside.
Nope.
It is not. So please, if you're in the path of Francine from Morgan City or anywhere near it, please just take cover. Stay away from windows. This is a very dangerous storm right now that's about to make landfall. And I think this is the first Category 2 landfall, right?
I believe so. I did see a couple of people saying I was.
Yeah, I think this might be the first Category 2 landfall in the United States.
Really?
I think so. I'm not sure,
Before-
but I feel like it is right now. It might be the first Category 2 landfall.
You sure Sally didn't make Category 2 though?
I'm not sure. I think Sally did.
Sally actually made a Category 2 landfall, yeah, and I've got the latest T-Coast news for you. So,
Okay.
I've just updated T-Coast. Francine is now up to 124 points, so it's gone up by around 20 points in the last hour. Well, in the last 2 hours. Just there, so...
Wow.
Look at that. So there we are. That was a huge surprise there. coming out of Francine.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if there's any
Can't
more
believe
comments,
she
seeing as we're
Yeah, I can't believe she actually bought that off of us. Just
people
like
aren't
surprises us.
surprised.
Wow.
100,974. I hope you mean miles per hour with that
No,
100.
category 3 is not possible. Yeah, no, category
Yeah.
3 is not possible
That- that-
anymore.
I believe they meant miles per hour. And also, can
No,
you
no.
please lower the volume of Charlie? Their settings is way too loud. Thanks.
Yeah, I've lowered mine.
You've lowered it down. There we are.
I've lowered it.
I apologise for the loud Charlie.
I don't even know what
Charlie
happened.
doesn't even sound loud. On my side, he sounds like he's talking slow.
Hmm.
Probably it's me. Hold up, give me a second.
Well, there we are, guys. Oh,
No, sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold up, give
Okay.
me a second. Give me a second.
I'm going to go to Charlie's screen as well, because Charlie wants to run through a few things with Bebinca before we move over to a more in-depth look at Francine. So, Charlie, what would you like to discuss about Bebinca just before we move over to more in-depth level of Francine?
Well, I believe it does say that Go's data is running behind, so this is the latest image I can get of Bebinca. And it's just doing its thing, it looks like. Just sitting there as a tropical storm.
Yeah, it's intensifying very slowly, and it looks like
slowly.
I'm looking at your screen. It looks like the storm's movement is starting to decrease as well.
Yeah.
So there we are. That's a little update of Bebinca. Let's go ahead and
Sitting there as a
throw
tropical
ourselves
storm.
back over to Jose's screen to get another look at Francine. I'm not sure what Jose has up right now. Actually, let's see.
Zoomed out Earth. I'm looking at the measurement from the eye to the What the hell am I doing?
Okay.
All right, there we go.
From the eye.
Yeah, it's about
50
still
miles.
50, probably 40.
I don't
47.
believe it's going to track that way though. It's definitely
Yeah,
gonna,
I know this. Yeah.
It's going.
I was looking at. Yeah, probably it's still going in this direction. I believe so. That's what I heard about northeastern still. Yeah, the closest is about like 40, almost 40 miles.
Well,
And you
if
can
you
see
want,
right now.
we can run the stream up until landfall, seeing as that looks like it's a lot closer than they thought it would be. I'm just gonna get the info now on how far exactly we think it is from landfall. I can tell you now. I'm looking. I think that's 28 miles away from landfall there, up to 30 miles away from landfall, and the storm is moving extremely quickly. As it's just gonna go straight. It looks like it's gonna go straight through Homer and New Orleans. Its eye looks like it's going to pass directly over those areas. It's come to a surprise to us that the storm is actually a Category 2 now, as we were saying before. So that is very interesting. I'm going to pull up some radar while either of you two explain more about the storm if you want. Tell me, what do you think of the storm's current structure? Does your northeast point still stand, or has that changed, Jose and Charlie?
Let me have a look at this thing.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
still very northeast. However, the south of the storm has the south eye will definitely has collapsed itself. But the the northeast is looking same as it was. Pretty much.
Yeah, eye wall is coming on shore right now. Oh no, please don't tell me these cameras are down. I think all of them are down now.
Oh dear. The one that we were looking at.
Yeah, it's down.
Oh.
Okay, what other cameras are nearby besides here? I think this is the only area that might get the strongest eastern winds. What about here? Nope, yep, they're all down.
Ah.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope it comes back on
The
before
pressure's dropped to
landfall.
971 millibars, by the way, from Saheb Plays.
971. Okay.
I did see that it's dropped to 972, so that, yeah, that is just 1 millibar down from there.
Oh, these cameras.
Let's have a look
I know
at
some.
this.
I know that Mr. Beryl said 105, 971. However, is that confirmed, or are we going with 100, 971?
Well, I want to know if it's miles per hour or knots they're talking about, because I would not say it's 100
Yeah,
knots. I would say
definitely not
in
100
knots,
knots.
that's I think if I let me have a look at the storm actually and the readings.
In
Yeah,
miles per hour,
we'll
it's
be going for us at force 13. I'll be going for 85 knots, which is 100 miles per hour, and 971 millibars, seeing as that's just come out of the storm now as well. So then let's have a look over here.
Let me look at power out. Need to look at power outages really quick.
Right.
Okay, power outages are starting to increase now.
Oh yeah.
St. Mary's has 1,960 power outages right now.
Okay, so power is starting to
Louisiana.
come through now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a good time right now for a
No.
caliber 2 to make landfall right now.
Just gonna update this imagery as well.
Oh man. Come on. No, yeah. We
There
lost
we
the
go.
cameras.
I can see this storm is blowing up a load of convection over land right now. It has not made landfall yet, but the storm is blowing up. It's just there. I'm showing that the convection it's blowing up there is over land mainly, and that will be moving in around near Homer area as well. So power outages will start to occur soon once the storm gets even closer to the shore. I'm just looking at what Jose's got up. It looks like you found another camera. Is this
Yeah,
a good camera?
it's yeah.
Out of date.
No, I think it might be closer to the eye wall. If this holds up together when it's over land, then probably it might be in the eye wall.
Yeah.
Let me look at this really quick. If it's still
Because
moving.
as I said earlier, the storm is going
when it gets
further
over.
east.
Yeah, so it looks like it might get. Yeah, right now they're getting. Yeah, Homa. Yeah, if we had that camera, we would be looking at the strongest eye wall right now.
I'm just going to read
If
another
we still
comment.
had it.
Force 13, do you think Bebinca is showing signs of a possible intensification phase? Well, obviously it's going to intensify. It's doing it very slowly at the moment. I'm talking about Bebinca here, by the way. But once the storm gets to typhoon status and once it gets further closer to the East China Sea, I know that the storm is probably going to attempt at rapid intensification. When it gets further along in life, it doesn't look matured enough yet to show signs of rapid intensification. Of course, it will be intensifying very slowly at the moment. I'm going to move on to another comment here from Mr. Beryl. Force 13, the last recon mission got 99 knots. Oh yeah, we do know. Oh dear, what the hell's happened to my chat? There we are. Any more comments? I don't see any more comments, so I'll move over back to what Jose's looking at or what Charlie's looking at. Do you two want to say anything more now? If you don't, there's a few comments here. Kin would like to see some visible imagery, so if either of you want to bring up any, but I do have the latest Force 13 visible imagery. If that's what anyone wants to see. So I'm going to bring up the visible imagery that I have right now before you guys show yours, seeing as this is just coming out of Force 13. the Force 13 website. So if I go over here and replace that for you.
That camera fell down.
And you saw me for a split second again there. But there we are. There's some visible imagery of the storm. The eye has started to take shape a lot better, but I'm not sure what's gone on with the eye in those later frames. It's started to get a bit more sheared. You can see that massive blow up, convection blowing up there, just only just over land. Let me have a look if that's. Yeah, there we are. So that's the current visible imagery. We've got a load of comments here. How long is the live stream for? Well, I would like to run this live stream up until landfall.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure how long the live stream is for. We just want to run it up until landfall. I believe I might just go for. Not Mr. Popular says, any chance for live coverage for Bebinca afterwards? Well, once Bebinca becomes once it becomes a large enough threat, then yeah, we can take a look at we could take a look at what we might do with some coverage. And also Skeletor Titan says, do we have pictures of the aftermath of Yagi? Now we might actually, but I don't think I'm going to look for that at this moment. Because I'd like to focus on this storm more. We probably get some Yagi images up, or next Sundays we have we could get some up just to set the scene on what Yagi has done, because we know that Yagi has been a relentless storm for when it made landfall. It was not very good at all. Well, I'm not quite sure what else to say right now. I'm lost up on my words. I've been speaking for just a bit. So, Charlie, Jose, would you like to speak while I've got some visible imagery up right now? I've got visible imagery up, so commentate about the visible imagery. Even if you're not looking at it, you can take a look on another website. I'm looking at the Force 13 visible imagery. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
you can go, Charlie.
Yeah, the southern side of the storm has just not collapsed, but definitely weakened. Like, especially the wind fields. The distance of the radar is a lot smaller. A lot smaller.
Well, I mean, Mr. Barrel does say, is it just me, or is some dry air intruding in the south side, just like you were saying?
Yeah.
It does look like there's an attempt of dry air to doing that.
Yeah.
The storm isn't looking very good, so I'm very surprised that that's a category 2. But I mean, visible imagery isn't always the way to go with analysis. Well,
Recon did have
much at
obviously
all.
the category 2 wins, but yes.
Well, here we are. Tropical Depression 7 forecast to become a tropical storm tonight. There. That's an interesting little update before I can move over to here. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and look at what Jose's doing so he can describe what's going on. You're still looking for cameras, it looks like, are you?
Yeah, still trying to find in
On
the
the hunt.
eastern side, but
Yeah,
the only ones that are
that's a
working are
shame.
in the area. Yeah, so it looks like sadly we might not be able to see the true power of Francine. If Francine manages to hold itself together when it tracks in, this is the reason why I choose this, because when you said northeastern, it's still moving in that direction. You could tell by the mouse it's going to be moving in that direction, and that you're going to put the eastern eye wall over Homa, which is going to be stronger there. But with the cameras, you see they're down. But if it manages to hold itself together, then probably we can see some force winds. There's Lake Concentrate.
I just
Wait, what?
want to say that the storm's eye, not the centre of the storm, but the storm's eye is only 20 miles away from landfall. And the storm's centre right now is getting on for 30 miles away, as I said earlier. Just an update for people who are new here and who are new watching this stream. Well, we're currently tracking Francine. As you know, this storm is, as you probably know, the storm is active, heading straight in for Homer and New Orleans. The forecast has shifted more towards the east, I'm thinking. Jose's there looking for cameras so we can see the full force of the storm once it's down. But Jose has said some key messages about what to do when the storm arrives. Would you like to go over some of those again, Jose, while you're having a look for some cameras?
Yeah, it looks like Morgan City, Homa, and mostly it looks like it's going right over Lake Pontchartrain. But like I said, like everyone, please stay away from windows and mostly do not drive into deep waters. Please.
Someone also says, is landfall imminent yet? Or will it take another hour or so? It's hard to tell because of the semi-collapsing eye. I believe it would happen in around an hour, landfall.
Yep.
The storm, because obviously the storm is moving very... the movement for the storm is very quickly right now. Yes, for everyone asking what category it is a category 2 now, we're saying. 100 miles per hour we're going with 971 millibars. That's 85 knots, I believe. Do any of you two want to bring up anything? Charlie, do you have anything to say? Because I know you haven't said anything in a while about the system. Are you want to say it? Have you anything to say yet, or are you going to wait for a moment while we have a look at what Jose's hunt for cameras?
Well, I have some infrared imagery up on my screen, and I've noticed
some
that go 16.
There we are. I do see it.
Now, the northeast of the eye wall, you can see a big, not really explosion, but a big cloud top. See the eye's not looking very good itself, but north of the eye, you can see that there at the very, very end of the loop, just north of the eye. But,
yeah, that convection I was talking about that's blowing up on land. There we are. Well, I experienced a little bit of lag there, but I'm back with you, Charlie. There's that I was talking about. That was the convection blowing up over land there I was talking about. That's probably it doesn't look like it's going to do the storm good, to be fair, because it's just about to go over land. The eye looks slightly clear, but the impression of the storm is certainly going down on any type of imagery. Obviously, it's still a category 2 though. I'm going to go back to Jose's screen. Are you still hunting for cameras, or have you found a camera? Let's have a look. Nope, haven't found a camera.
For ones that are the closest, but mostly all of these are. I don't know if we're allowed to look at on YouTube for other storm chasers that are in the eye. I don't know if that's allowed on Force 13.
I don't think you can for copyright issues.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. So that's because I looked on YouTube. There's so many people in the eye wall right now. But then I was like, I don't know if this is going to be allowed on Force 13. Yeah,
Jack.
Oh yeah, what's up, Charlie? Do I need to look at your screen?
If you look at my screen, you can see that Francine has just entered a 50 knots wind shear.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh yeah, so there we are. Francine being sheared incredibly. So, to be fair, for the storm's strength right now, it's holding on quite well. Even seeing the fact that it managed to intensify, but it will be on the weakening run once it gets very close. I'd say this would be a slight asynoptic as a Cat 2 because this storm, it'll be on the weakening run in no time. Because if you look at that shear that the storm is currently facing right now, it's going to be just ripped apart once it gets over land. But not too soon, because the storm surge that this storm is going to cause, particularly on the eastern side of the storm, as I was saying, but doesn't mean that there's not going to be any storm surge on the west. It's going to be just slightly more I'm slightly more wary of it on the eastern side though, because whenever storms come on shore in this area, it's the eastern side of the storm where the wind's pushing the water on shore. And obviously when I looked at that topographic map earlier showing the levels of land and how low lying the land is where the storm is expected to hit, and it's just very very concerning for the areas around. I've just updated this imagery you're looking at right now. This is the visible imagery. I've just updated it, and I'm going to take a look if there's any more comments of anyone asking questions. No, it doesn't look like there is. But just to let you know, if you're new onto the stream, if you want to ask us a question, just say @Force13 in all text, and we'll get a ping and we'll be able to read your question out and give you an answer to the question. So, Jose, do you want to say anything now?
Well, right now, like, it's just a little, it's a little stressful right now for, everyone in Louisiana and everyone that's tracking or chasing. It's like stress right now because now that it's a category 2, we exactly don't know what the city or what Louisiana will look like after Francine's pass. So it's just like it's a wait and see now. I just hope that there's not that much of bad damages anywhere. But right now, just by the looks of things, after hearing category 2, it just looks like we might start to see bad structural damage around the area. But just get ready, get prepared, and hope for the best. But just know the good thing that is that's stopping Francine from strengthening more is wind shear, and it's starting to speed up. So thankfully that's something that's on our side. But we have to wait for the rest, and hopefully everyone up north in the plains are prepared for Francine, because flooding could be concerning, because after looking at those models from Charlie, it kind of looks like a little stall out in that area. But either way, just please get prepared, please get ready, and stay safe.
Well said. I'm just going to send Charlie over this information.
Yeah, it was already Cat 2, guys.
But yeah, anyone in the chat is a Cat 2, so.
Yeah, it's already Cat 2. We kind of called it out how many minutes go by now?
Oh.
Yeah, it's already Cat 2, which is.
But then there has been, Ethan's just notified in the chat, the advisory is just updated now. It says Francine becomes a Category 2 hurricane as the eye approaches the Louisiana coast. Life-threatening storm surge and hurricane conditions spreading onto the Louisiana coast.
Yep.
Well, we just gotta wait until landfall. It's getting closer and closer. The eye kind of looked like it's starting to fall apart, but looking on radar, looks like landfall is almost. Look at that.
The eyeball is looking like it's on shore.
Yeah, look at that strong northeastern eyewall just about to hit Chanvi Dulka Galliano Golden Meadow. Looks like that's going straight into those cities.
I've got another comment here. Will North Carolina get hit by Francine? No.
No.
I don't think so at all. Like, that is... I don't think so at all. But, the storm's heading up. You might get, like, some... There might be some, like, very, very outer bands, like, just, like, the storm's influence of cloud is quite large to its east, because it does have a lot of cloud to its east, and that will just be rain, but the storm will not affect North Carolina, not to worry there. A storm is very close to landfall now. If I have a look now, they've just updated it to Category 2 strength, which is very incredible, to be fair, as we all know. And they've also shifted the cone to the east, like what I was expecting. The cone is now shifted further to the east, as I said. I'm just going to look how far exactly the storm is from landfall in this new cone. It says 26 miles away, so still quite a way to go for landfall. I do not know what the storm's current movement speed is, though, so if either of you two could go ahead and grab that information, that would be great if you have any.
17 miles per hour, I believe.
Oh, so northeast at 17 miles per hour, okay. Yes, that was Zoom Earth just a moment ago, I believe from Jose, and I'm going to look over at Jose's screen now, in case anyone wanted
At this point, I'm starting to give up on the cameras.
Oh, you're still looking? Oh no.
Bro, I'm still trying to find the closest one to the eye wall. This one, on the other hand, is far, but it's
Doesn't look
nowhere
hopeful.
near it. Yeah, it's more further away. And looking at the path of barrel, Francine.
Oh no.
Francine is mostly gonna be something like this. So if it holds itself together, probably one of these cameras can see the full force.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I just hope if Francine still manages to hold itself together when it goes over land, and
Now
we
that
get to
there's
see the
quite a
power
few
of it.
people viewing the stream as well, I just want to say again, the low-lying land, the land is the land is very low in this region, so
Yeah.
we've got to be aware of that, everyone in this area. The storm surge is a massive problem. So is the flooding, and of course the winds, as Jose was mentioning earlier, with trees and all sorts of things. The trees in this area, well, most of them don't look very stable. So this area is the area where it's about to make landfall is extremely prone to impact right here. But I seriously, this storm surge, I cannot stress enough the fact that this land is so low lying. You've got to be aware of that and act fast once the storm makes it onto land, and even it's doing it now already. We've got the storm's like slightly on the edge of landfall right there. I'm just looking at Jose's screen. Still does not look like you can find any webcams, sadly, but there's the radar. Look at that. That is definitely the strongest part of the storm, the northern side now. It was the northeastern side, but of course it's shifted over to the northern side, as storms do. Now we are getting an update for our sidebar template as well, so I'll be able to flick back to that in just a moment. We are getting an update for that, and here we are. Are you looking through cameras still? Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I'd like to focus on the fact this rain right now, it's going to be huge once it goes in, and I cannot stress this enough. The storm surge is going to be pretty bad, seeing as the land is low lying. So keep that in mind. The storm surge that the officials are predicting are pushing 10 feet, maybe even getting further. So please keep that in mind if you're anywhere near any coast in the path of this system.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering what the path of this system is, I'm just going to pull up the latest cone in just a moment. Let me go over here and grab the National Hurricane Centre's latest cone on Francine. So of course they've shifted it further to the east as I was expecting, and if I go here, I'm just going to add this in, seeing as and there we go. So this is the updated cone. If you are in anywhere near the coast on these warnings, you've got to be very careful, especially this area within the hurricane warning, because storm surge is only extended around there at possible 5 to 10 feet. But even around New Orleans area, the what's the lake called again? Pontchartrain.
Big concentrate.
Train. Yeah.
Concentrate or concentrate.
Yeah, that's right. That lake is right on that coast, obviously, so we could see some rising water levels there when the storm comes through. And the flooding, of course, is another issue for when the storm gets there. I'm expecting landfall personally in an hour or sometime within the next 2 hours. But yeah, I'm just going to give thingy an update while we look at this, which isn't updated yet. It will be updated in just a moment.
Yeah, Homa's getting hit really hard. Bro, I wish we had the cameras. I think power went out in that area, so that's why the cameras are gone now.
I can see they've got a new storm surge thing. I think that is, they've pushed the 5 to 10 feet further along, which is good. It's much smaller now, but still, for when this storm arrives, even now, it's going to be very deadly for that storm surge as it moves further in.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So we need to change this out for the updated version. So if I come over here and replace it with the updated version, here we are. I think that's updated. I have no idea what's happened there. What on earth?
Going on.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. The thing that I was provided with was crashing out or something. Let me try once more. See if I have no idea why it's doing that.
Interesting. What does it
Why
do?
is it doing that? I have no idea what's going on. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. Do you wanna?
I could bring it up on my screen quickly.
Do you
It's not
wanna?
gonna work.
You could bring it up on your screen then, because I have no idea why that's not working. It could be because it's just from a different source, but that's fine. Charlie will bring it up on his screen and we can look at exactly what we wanted to look at. So let's have a look. So
I'll just restart
this here is Charlie's screen. There we are. So this is the updated sidebar. For some reason it wouldn't add on for some reason, but there we are. We've even got the degrees northeast at 40 degrees, 17 miles per hour, and obviously we said 100 miles per hour and 971 millibars. Tropical storm warnings: Texas, Louisiana border to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge, US Gulf Coast from cutoff to Alabama, Florida border, and hurricane warnings for Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge to cutoff. And if we move over to watches in just a moment, we'll see that there are currently no tropical storm watches, but the hurricane watches are the same for the Lake Pontchartrain coast. I still don't know how to pronounce that correctly, so I apologise. But there we are. That's the new bar that Charlie has made. And what's that, Jose? You
Homa and Chovine is under a flash flood. Not flood. Is under flash flood warning for Homain.
Oh yeah, I see.
Homan and Tuduka, Montagut, Chovine, and Gray are under flash flood warning.
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, yeah.
So right now we can just see these areas getting pounded right now by the northern night wall, eastern night wall.
Mr. Beryl says Francine has a shot at getting retired. I'm being serious about this. Well, we don't know yet, and because we of course, because we've got no information on if there's any casualties or any damage.
Yeah. Wow. This is unbelievable right now. And I bet it's very scary for the people in Louisiana right now that are
Sorry about
going
that, my
through
mic
right
cut
now.
out.
That's what.
I'm just gonna continue and then you can go ahead with what you were saying. So, let's have a look. What was I going at? I was going over the if possible retirement. No, well, we don't have any image on the impacts of this storm yet. Any image, if that makes sense. Any of the storm's impacts, but I see what you mean by it has a shot, but I'm not gonna say anything yet. We're gonna not call that yet. I'm just gonna read this last comment before Jose continues from Not Mr. Popular. Any chance the team will do live coverage for Bebinca when Francine's gone? I mean, as I said earlier, the now, when Bebinca becomes more of a threat and gets closer to land, we will be going live. I'll make sure I cater to the live streams correctly and try my best with these live streams with the limited time that I have to go live. But of course, we've got other people with live streaming capabilities. We've got Justin and you've got Charlie. But obviously, I've been doing the recent lives right now because Nathan is on vacation. I'm Jack Pepper, if you didn't know. I'm the Image Scouts head for Force 13. And there's another comment that's come through. Estimates from me is going to be around 1.4 billion to 9.8 billion. Well, yes, you could say that. I'm not going to rule that out yet though, because I don't want to talk about that over stream right yet, because it's not the appropriate thing to talk about really while we're looking at this. But I'm going to just, seeing as Jose has been waiting so patiently, go ahead, Jose, and what you wanted to say. If you wanted to say anything, there you are.
And sorry if I was quiet. I'm like doing the live stream while watching the Weather Channel at the same time, and I'm just gonna say right now, Jim Cantori is getting battered by the winds right now. I think he's in Morgan City right now, right in the eye wall where right where it's gonna go. But by the
so
looks
one
of
of
things,
the
right?
Weather Channel's prominent storm chasers, that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, look, right now the power outages in Louisiana is starting to skyrocket at this point. and it's not looking good. I think I can either think it's like trees falling down or the wind snapping on power lines right now. The power outages are starting to skyrocket. If you all want to check, it's right up here, poweroutages.us. You can check out, power outages around the United States, but either way, let's take a look at radar scope right now, and you can just see like the force on how much winds the storm is packing. If I can just take a look, 90, 100. There's like strong winds right now. This is, very dangerous right now by the looks of things. But either way, like I said, just please stay inside and we ride it out together. But yeah, just right now, just stay safe, everyone. Oh yeah, one more thing. Please do not light up any candles inside your house or put
No.
generators because carbon monoxide will kill you. Please do not put any of those because I think I heard about a bunch of deaths occurring because of carbon monoxide.
There's also
That's
a risk of like any flame that's lit inside your house. If your power goes out and some gas, you could have a gas leak. You smell any gas, do not light any fires, and call fire services immediately. Any sort of way you could get your way out of that situation in the safest way possible needs to be like prioritized. Now, I'm just going to switch over to some more Force 13 imagery if I can. There we are. I'm going to refresh it. So we've got that there. There's the storm. I'm looking at this. The eye looks like it's starting to get more like, well, compress itself. It does not look very impressionable at all, really. Now I look at it. And I just want to check how far away the eye is from land now, because it must be getting extremely close. 20 miles away from land the eye is. So we are coming up to landfall right now. So that is
by the
indeed.
way, Jack.
Oh yes.
But I'm just gonna say this right now. That there is like a thunderstorm coming into my area, so I think I might like have a bad signal right now.
Oh yeah, that's
and my
fine.
dad might be coming home. So if I go quiet, it's because bad signal, or I'm helping my dad bring down his machines from his business. So just letting you know right now.
I just want to go over to Charlie. I can't look at your screen at the moment. I'm just checking something right now. Do you have anything to say right now?
Let me have a quick look at something like radar. Once again, to get a better look on how the northern side of the storm is doing, as we are approaching landfall very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
I'm just going to read out this comment. The biggest issue is the CB lifted by land is acting like Beryl with frequent gusts, so people have to be careful from tree damage and power lines. Yeah, that's what Jose was covering earlier. The more floppy trees in the area, they look slightly flimsy, and if they're in this category 2 now, barreling in and rolling away, as they say, straight into landfall as it's doing in the moment. It will be making landfall very soon. That was one of the issues that Jose was covering. Of course, the trees snapping and causing damage and running into all sorts of problems with that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to go back to Charlie. I'm sorry I interrupted you. There you are. You have the floor.
I have the radar up on my screen, and it looks like...
the radar? I'll go to
I
your
cannot
screen.
tell on visible, but on radar, it looks like the northern eye wall is now...
Yeah.
approaching land.
Yeah, it's
Obviously, the
very
entire eye is
close.
land, so landfall is not yet been made.
Hmm.
But once the entire decent eye that it has crosses over the coastline, that will mark landfall, and it is incredibly it's not a very long time until landfall at all.
No,
In
very
the next
close.
probably hour, I would
Yeah.
say.
Well, much sooner than that. It looks like
Much sooner
the
than that.
storm could make landfall in the next half an hour. Well, in half an hour.
Do yeah.
So it will be running this live out until this makes landfall. I expect that's what I'm expecting. I do have to go not too very shortly though, so I'm gonna push this as far as we can this stream, seeing as this is a very dangerous situation currently ongoing. I'm just going to see there's another comment. Francine somewhat reminds me of Zeta when it comes to both hurricanes riding the shear then fighting it. Thoughts? My thoughts on that? I do agree. I know Zeta was much stronger though. Zeta had more time to intensify. As we know as well, Zeta came through the Yucatan Peninsula, and once it came out, it immediately attached itself onto shear and had limited time to intensify once it until it made landfall, and that changed the course of the storm. But it was forecasted, but changed the course to the storm and went into Louisiana, and I actually believe Zeta was probably a Category 3, much better looking than this system, but still, this storm is a Category 2. It doesn't matter about the Category too much. It does, but not too much, seeing as the main issue will be this storm surge that is currently ongoing right now. There will be surge right now going on, so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like from Jose's search, but Jose, are you still there? Do you want to say anything to that before Charlie goes on?
No, not really. I mean, you two have a point about that. With some like these tropical systems be attaching to wind shear. It's just the same thing. It reminds me of Beryl, like not that long ago, where when it reached Category 5, then the National Hurricane Center said that it's going to start running into wind shear, and Beryl was fighting back for its life against wind shear. Like I never seen a hurricane done that before. The fighting back it was intense. Like Beryl wanted to be part of history. Beryl wanted to become into the record books.
It's like
And
they're
I'm not
alive.
gonna lie,
No.
yeah, Beryl did it. Beryl became the first Category 5 way early, beating Emily in 2005.
Incredible storm Beryl was, but
Yeah,
if we
it's
move
just
over back
incredible.
to Francine,
Yeah.
well, you can see on Charlie's imagery, if he wants to refresh it, I'm looking at some parts of the eye are over land, so there are land regions currently entering the eye. And I don't think the areas are very populated, really. It's very low-lying land anyway. But there would be a very high surf there, definitely. What's your thoughts on all of this, Charlie, going on right now?
Well, it's just not very good, is it, for the people living in the area, especially for the people living in places like Morgan City, Houma, if I've said that correctly, and obviously going up towards Baton Rouge and even New Orleans with Lake Pontchartrain as well, getting
I do not know how to.
Storm surge warnings up into that area as well, but especially on the area where it's going to make landfall, which is in the Delta Wildlife Management Area. And places like Houma, Morgan City, Franklin getting affected right along the front of the storm. Francine is incredibly close to landfall now. Underneath 20 miles away from landfall.
I'm just looking at YouTube right now. Wow, the storm surge is insane.
Yes.
Sadly, I can't put it on
As
my
I
YouTube.
was saying, the storm surge, yeah, as I was saying earlier, the main side of the storm surge is the eastern side of the storm, in my opinion, obviously, and I believe that's come true because of the winds pushing it onshore. I know that happened with many storms, like happened with Michael, of course happened with Shanshan not too long ago, and Yagi. So the storm, like any storm, definitely would follow those rules. Charlie and Jose, either you were trying to say something there. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, no, that's all. That's all I was gonna say. Like sadly, well, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show anything from YouTube, but like I'm just saying, when I'm just looking at it, wow, the storm surge is insane. And Jim Cantori right now watching the Weather Channel is getting battered.
Just an update from her
He's
place,
standing.
seeing 2-foot inundation in Chauvin already. Yeah, as I was expecting, I believe Chauvin's on the eastern side of the storm, and of course the flooding there, it's gonna be quite high. We did look at the contour maps earlier, showing how low the land is in the region, and just how incredible I think it is, this storm. I'm just refreshing this imagery here that you have on your screen. This is here we go. So this is the visible imagery. It's refreshed. The eye is wow, it's collapsing or collapsed.
Yeah, it's collapsed.
It's not doing well at all. But yeah, this storm is very it surprised us all in becoming a Cat 2 there.
I have brought up on my stream now
Yeah.
the storm surge flooding graph
yeah.
here, and as you can see, the areas in red, which are very small, will be greater than 9 feet above. The areas in orange will be greater than 6 feet. Areas in yellow will be greater than 3 feet. Sorry, and the blue areas will be greater than 1 foot, and some areas you have to consult local officials for the flood risks. But that is what is shown by the National Hurricane Center.
Yeah. Well, there we are. And that red area there, the orange area, it's mainly on the northern side of the storm, the eastern side of the storm, wherever it is. That one spark of red there you can see. That is of course the warning that I had earlier for the region. Do any of you want to? Well, I just want to say that storm surge looks like it intrudes pretty well into the coast there, as I was saying.
Yep.
Of course, because of the low-lying land, as I feel like I've said 1,000 times now. Any of you want to say anything else before I go ahead and read comments, if there's any?
No, but it's just devastating that
Yeah.
the main power of a hurricane is storm surge, and water is the #1 killer in all hurricanes,
Absolutely.
typhoons, cyclones. They're the main killers. Winds are not really, but it's mostly the water, because
Yep.
I'm just saying, like, there's some people that can't not swim,
Yeah.
or there are people that can't swim, but then you get injured, you're surrounded by water, you really can't do nothing. Or people deciding, saying, oh, the water is not that deep, I'm just going to drive through it, but then finding out your car stalls and it starts to float away.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. You have to understand that driving through flooded water is not that easy. It's not that easy. Well, I shouldn't be saying that, but it's hard to go through because you don't know
It's one of those
how
things
much.
that isn't at all as
Yeah.
easy as it seems.
Yeah, that's why everyone says turn around, don't drown. That's the #1 thing. But yeah, just if
Take
water
care.
starts coming into your house, just go to the highest point you can and keep yourself away from water, because you don't know what's inside of the water. You don't know what chemicals. You won't even know if electrical currents are going through it. You don't even know what kind of sharp objects are in there.
Yeah,
So
and when you say go highest point, go to a
Yeah.
point that is still within shelter of. If you've got any tall trees or just anything that could collapse on you,
Or
make sure
an
you are in.
attic. You could take it over, Jack.
Yeah, I can just see what Charlie's showing on his screen. That eye is is like not stable at all anymore. Really, it looks it's collapsed quite a bit there, and obviously that convection there is going to cause a load of rain. So I'm not surprised there's a lot of inundation already. I'm just gonna take over to this. Ignore this bar. In fact, I'm just gonna do that. Ignore that bar. You can see Bebinca in the bottom left. I'm just going to update this Francine imagery here that we have on the front. This is what it looks like. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, that blow up is like crazy.
Yeah, the blow up it's having over land there.
Well, thunder in my
There
area,
is.
not a good thing.
Oh.
Yeah, there's thunder in my. It's because because of this frontal system that's stuck with Francine the entire time it was moving up the coast of Texas into Louisiana right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say for anyone who's new into watching the live, we're currently covering Hurricane Francine as it rolls away, heading straight for landfall in Louisiana. We've been covering this storm for around 2.5 hours. We're expecting landfall very, very soon. I've just got the latest infrared imagery for the storm loop from Force 13, and you can see Tropical Storm Bebinca down in the bottom left if anyone's interested in seeing what that looks like. Well, our main focus today is Francine anyway. It's currently a Category 2 now, which has surprised us all. It does not look very good for a Category 2, but there is recon confirmed. 100 miles per hour we're going for, and 971 millibars. If anyone wants to join us for any tropical weather chat in future about these storms, there is a Discord server you can join. I believe is Discord discord.gg/force13 for all sorts of tropical weather chat. You can engage with us and engage with the weather community, and if anyone wants to ask any of us here on the live any questions, just say in the live chat at Force13 and write your question after that in text, and we will get to your question as soon as we can. If we don't get to your question, send it again and I'm sure we'll be able to get to it after that. Now I'm going to go ahead and pan over here and look over at what Jose's looking at. If Jose's looking at anything, it's just loading. But yeah, I'm looking at what you're looking at. Jose, this is the velocity radar and precipitation radar, right? What are you seeing with this?
Well, pretty much it's like the same as always for a lot of precipitation. I think I accidentally turned off. Yeah, that explains why I'm not seeing no warnings right now. But I did turn it off because I was screen recording this to save it in my computer. But yeah, as you can see right now, there is still flash flood warnings for these areas, and I think there might be more considering later on because the amount of rain this is dropping. But mostly, you could see on the right side. Oh, no wonder it's okay. There we go. You can see on the right side, like you can see those almost light, darkish, pink, dark, peaches and bluish. This is just showing like how intense the winds are in around the eye wall. But I believe that the strongest parts of the eye wall are now on the northern side, which is Battery Morgan City at this point. I did hear some confirmed winds of 60 in Morgan City.
Yeah, the storm is battering that area. Yeah. I'm just going to pause you there for one moment. We've got a comment. It does say, what are the wave heights by chance? Well, I would be able to take an estimate for that because I don't think we know the wave heights right now. But the estimate for that, I could tell you, is the highest wave height I'm estimating is probably somewhere between 8 feet and 9 feet, as the storm surge said, and definitely, it's the eastern side of the storm, as I've said, that is the main focus of this storm surge. I'm just going to go back to Jose. What were you saying? Apologies for the interruption. There
Yeah,
you are.
you're good. Don't worry. Well, I'm just saying that that in Morgan City they did clock like 60-mile-per-hour winds, but I
Hmm.
feel like it may go higher as Francine starts to continue on shore. For a second, I thought the NAC called landfall because I did got a notification from the NAC, but it wasn't that. But my heart dropped right when I saw it. I was like, oh shoot, not good.
Oh, I'm just
Yeah,
checking how far away from land at its closest
yeah,
is
that's what I'm looking at too.
7.7 miles, and where it's expected to make landfall, where we expect it to make landfall, is about 15 miles away now. So we're halfway in from where it used to be before. I believe the storm's moving a lot quicker than it was before. The storm
Yeah.
is movement is probably approaching 20 miles per hour northeast now at 40 degrees, as Charlie showed us earlier. Now, speaking of Charlie, we haven't spoken to Charlie in a bit, so I'm just going to check if we don't. No, okay, we're just going to go straight to Charlie. Charlie, I'm looking at your screen now. Once it loads,
Yeah.
there we are. What do you want to say? Is this updated now, or do you have anything else to say?
I can update the visible as much as I can, but yeah, that northern eye wall is literally crossing over the coastline now, and it's pretty much on the coast, if not inland.
Yeah, we
Landfall
are on the
is
cusp of
upon
landfall.
us. Landfall is very much upon us.
Yeah.
And to anyone in the area, make sure that all of your safety precautions have been met by now,
Yeah.
because otherwise it will be too late.
Yeah, I think it's too
Yeah.
late now already. Like,
Yeah,
Too late. Yeah, it's too late.
late.
Yeah.
so you've really got to be careful with the situation you're in. Like, if you're in a car right now, please get into a sheltered area with the car and be very careful with it, because these winds aren't messing around. Like, there could be falling trees anywhere, and of course the flooding and everything is so unbelievably dangerous in the area where the storm is heading. I'm just going to run back over to Jose's screen, seeing as there's interesting radar that he was looking at, and I just see
Yeah, I
he's
think
still
there
on
might
that
be some.
for you guys
Yeah,
to
because
view.
since it mostly changed directions,
Hmm.
now it's gonna be mostly is there a camera here? It looks like this showing there was one here.
It'd be great if there
That's
was a
strange.
camera.
Oh, that's weird. It's literally saying there's a camera right there.
Hmm.
But these numbers, it just indicates there's a camera right there, and I'm looking at it. Be like that. This is the one we were just looking at earlier, but it's down. But I don't know what's up here. There's no camera.
I'm just seeing a spike in viewers there, so I'd just like to say, if anyone's just new here, we are tracking Francine, Hurricane Francine. It's on the cusp of landfall right now. Probably going to make landfall in the next 20 minutes or so. This is an extremely dangerous situation for the area right here. My name's Jack Pepper. I'm in the Image Scout studio. We're also joined by Charlie in the Short studio, and over in Florida we have Jose here. We're looking at, right now. I'm looking at Jose's screen. This is Jose showing velocity radar and the precipitation radar on the left there.
Yeah.
I don't notice anything different from the last time we saw this, obviously. But
Yeah, mostly everything is still the same besides, the eye getting closer and closer.
yeah, so we are
Yeah,
very
look, yeah.
close to landfall, right on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
There you are. You can see some land has already entered the eye, and I just because I feel like Charlie hasn't said much, I'd just like to go over to Charlie. I'm still looking at Jose's screen.
Yep.
I just like to go to Charlie. Charlie, what do you have anything else to say before I go ahead and read this?
Really quick. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go quiet for a moment because my dad's here, so I'm gonna go help him out. So I'll be
Yes,
right
that's
back.
fine.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
fine.
no problem. Yeah, I'm looking at the infrared imagery and how there's a huge burst of convection right on landfall inside the northern eye wall.
Oh, is
Huge
there?
burst of convection
I'm just
right on the coast.
Right, there we are. That was Jose's screen. Let's go over to Charlie's screen. Loading now. Oh yeah, that's that as we were showing earlier. Yeah. So the eye is collapsed on infrared imagery completely.
Yes.
But that burst is still continuing. So that
Still
would
continuing.
cause a load of rain. So that
Yeah.
would be that. That is
I
incredible. Why
will
is that?
pull up the precipitation image things, or the rainfall potential. No, not the rainfall potential. The precipitation graph accumulation. That's the one.
The
I'll pull
storm
up
is
now.
currently the storm is currently a category 2, 100 miles per hour, 971 millibars. I'm just going to see if there's any more comments while Charlie has a look at what he's fixing. Oh, sorry, I didn't specify. I meant the individual crest significant heights with what was that noise? The blowing wind in the same direction causing the storm surge. I believe GFS is looking at it's 25 feet over water. Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah. We haven't actually looked at that yet. We're going off of what we've got here. I'm just showing the screens of the team that's here as well. And also a moment of lovely says, NHC has no waves height out in the Gulf, but that's basically 2 to 4 feet height waves measured inland across the coast of Louisiana, yeah. And someone also says, there wasn't a ping, but someone says Francine could cause a tornado outbreak. I just want to say that is possible because of the fact that we saw that comment earlier. Do it and it was correct. That the fact the storm's movement is very very quick right now. That does have something to settle in with that fact. Charlie, you're looking now at the precipitation
Accumulation, yes. Obviously, it has dropped as storm is hitting that shear, but
yeah.
Obviously that doesn't mean you're not going to get any rainfall. You're still going to get, it looks like 8 to 10 millimeters on the northern side where the storm's currently, the eye wall's currently passing over land. In fact, I wonder how close, yeah, the eye wall is not just, but in a couple, maybe about 10 or 20 minutes, will close towards Morgan City and Houma.
I just want to mention, it's just updated, 13 miles away from landfall, it looks like, right there, and there's also a tiny little island, which could even be a landfall, but it won't count as one, it's so small. 8.1 miles away from there, and then 13 miles away from the expected landfall location. The nearest land to it, but however, is a little splurt of land that comes off with all sorts of rivers, like tiny rivers, micro rivers inside of it. 7.8 miles away it's from that, but they're expecting landfall at 13 miles away, and that is very close to 12 miles away as well. So that's gone from 20 miles to 15 miles, and now we're at 13 miles, so it's moving extremely quick. And once this storm makes landfall, we'll get that straight to you and give you all the info we can for it. I'm just gonna have a look here. Sammy says, will Pensacola, Florida receive tropical storm force winds? You are just near a tropical storm warning, so I don't think tropical storm winds are exactly forecast, but the storm's influence is quite large, so you might get tropical storm gusts, maybe even on the edge of hurricane gusts. Sustained winds for you though, I don't think is a worry at the moment. We'll keep you posted. If you're joining anywhere from there, just let us know in the comments. Charlie, I'll go back to you. What were you saying? If I go back over to your screen, there we are.
Pull up the radar quickly.
You're gonna pull up the radar.
Pull up the radar. Let's pull it up on the side of windy here. So as you
Charlie,
can see,
hold on just one moment.
Oh, yep.
I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna go for a quick break for 5 minutes. I'll be back in just a moment. Go ahead, Charlie.
Alright, I'll continue this. So the Northern Eye Wall, there's a lightning strike that just happened then. However, the Northern Eye Wall, as you can see, is literally making landfall. Well, no, the storm isn't making landfall, but the Northern Eye Wall is passing over inland now, away from the coast. This is the latest radar imagery I can find. I hope the stream is on my screen. I do not know if it is. It is. Okay, I can show you this through various things. In fact, we can see how high the waves are in this area. They don't seem... I don't know how... This is quite outdated, I think. The storm landfall is right around the corner. Not even around the corner. It is in about 10-20 minutes. Not very far away
Hello,
at all.
I am back.
Hello.
I've just received word. I believe Maury will be joining us as well. Here he is. He'll be giving some more info if Maury has anything else to say. And he's just joined now. So Maury, have you got anything to show on your screen if you want to pull up a screen while we're looking at Charlie's screen right now?
Yes, so I am going to
is
show...
imminent right now. We're looking like about 15-20 minutes away right now. So here we are. Maury's screen. Go ahead.
Okay, so here is the microwave imagery you see up to landfall. And this system has continued to improve on the microwave imagery up until landfall, which is imminent at the moment. You can see the areas of maximum radiation, or the maximum brightness temperature is weakening a little bit on the western side. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it could just mean because it's interacting with land, so it's having a harder time dealing with the sea surface temperatures, which of course makes sense. I mean, most storms do weaken before landfall, and that's what we're seeing here. Anyways, this system looks like at the moment, let me just present a different screen. This system at the moment looks like it is going to make landfall probably near... It looks like it's going to make landfall near this peninsula right here. Let me just turn off the... This peninsula right here. Near 4 League Bay. 4 League Bay. And the Mosquito Gas Field. And the Atchafalaya Delta Wildlife Management Area. This isn't a very populated area, however, this will pass very close to Morgan City, which is a populated area. So everybody there might enter into the eye, which isn't too much of an eye, as this is just a Category 2, but it's still enough to resemble a hurricane. And right now, they are in the major winds right now. You can see winds over here. This is in meters per second, so I'll convert the measurements later, but I believe this is around 90 miles per hour. So that would be expected, maybe 100.
Thank you, Maury, for that run over. I'm just looking at what this says as well.
Yeah, there is
we've got
screen.
a black screen for some reason.
Grey screen.
But there we are. Now, it should be working now. I don't know why that happened. But while we look at that, I'm going to go ahead and move over to... There we are, some visible imagery of the system, because I'm just checking out this system right now. And I've got something ready for when... There we are. For when this updates, it shouldn't be too long actually. Just checking this. Okay. There we are. So I'm just ready for when this storm eventually makes landfall now.
Yep.
Does anyone want to go ahead and run over a few things right now? Because I'm focusing pretty hard right now and I can't try my best to get some words out. I'll move over to your screen now, Charlie, if you want to say anything.
All right, I am back. I'm
Oh,
so
hello,
sorry.
Jose.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, we have a comment. I'm curious. With the surge essentially hitting near the Mississippi River mouth, could that
Landfall hasn't been
technically,
called
if
yet?
pushed enough, cause higher levels? Yeah, I mean that could be banks burst slightly. But this is Charlie's screen I'm looking at right now. This is the radar. Jose's also back. It has not made landfall yet, but is very close.
All right.
So
I thought I missed it.
yeah. Charlie is looking at this is the radar. The storm is extremely close to landfall, like very close. I just want to say that is, if I go ahead and look at how close that is, the storm is, oh my gosh, the storm is 5 miles away from landfall, guys. That's breaking news. 5 miles from landfall. This storm is moving extremely quickly, getting much closer to the coast. Jose, do you want to say anything? I'm going to look at your screen now that you've just come back. What are your thoughts right now? I'm looking at your screen.
It's very surprising to say how Francine managed to I shouldn't say rapidly intensify, but like intensified like at the last, couple hours before landfall. Like right now, like you just say 5 miles away from landfall. This, Francine could make history, but we don't, who knows what Francine can make history for. But yet again, after Ida, Laura, and other major hurricanes that hit Louisiana before, but they're all different. All hurricanes, cyclones are very different. Different personalities, different strength, different pressures, different lookings.
Different
Francine is
appearance.
different. Yeah. Right now, Francine is now Category 2.
Yeah.
Which all of us hours ago we're just saying we don't doesn't look like Francine will make Category 2 because wind shear 40, 50 knots.
Yeah, it
and
did
now,
surprise us all.
Yeah.
I just want to
Sorry,
go
and
ahead and check. Maury, do you want to say anything more on the storm? If you're there, I can go over to your screen. Is there anything
One
more
thing
you'd
I
like to
do
say?
want to note, the impacts of this storm will not be finished after it makes landfall, as is with all storms. But especially not with this storm, as into the night, we are expecting more storm surge to pile in, especially a lot of flooding, even as far inland as Jackson, Mississippi, and parts of Memphis, Tennessee. We're expecting some flooding to occur in some way or form. And of course, the tornado threat, which will still be present today and a little bit into tomorrow, but for most part today. All of these threats will continue as we move on past landfall. So landfall does not mean that everything is going to end. That is never what it means.
Yeah, and we're still I don't know if the National Hurricane Center is still forecasting that kind of a stall over the plains, which is not like a good thing to hear, stall, because with stalling, that means more rain dumping and dumping and dumping, causing flash floods. It's just something we don't want to hear. Yeah, because let's take it back 7 years ago. Like I said, Hurricane Harvey, one of the historic hurricanes I've seen so far, dumping 64 inches of rain and stalled for like what 2 to 1 days, right? I think it was 2 to 1 days. And then looking at Dorian did the same thing. Well, not rain, but as a Category 5 over Grand Bahama for 36 hours, stalling. It's just different types of stalling with systems. There's the ones with the rainfall, other ones with staying in the same strength for hours and hours and stalling over one place. That's something we do not want to see, and mostly in Francine. If they're forecasting a stalling over the plains, we're talking about big flood problems. But yeah, if you guys want to take over, you can.
Yes.
Oh, and sorry for cutting you off, Maury. By the way, sorry if I cut you off.
I was just saying exactly what you said. Like the
Mhm.
flooding is probably going to be exponential in those areas. Of course, it's not going to be to the levels of Harvey or Dorian. Well, maybe Dorian, but
Mhm.
not to the level of Harvey, I don't think. But it's
Yeah, I
still
hope.
going to be a lot of rainfall. I think we're expecting maybe up to 10 inches. I have to look at the forecast again. It looks somewhere around that range. I have to see.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like we have about 12 inches. 12 inches in Louisiana. And then further up into the Memphis region, we have about 5 inches. So it's a very big difference there, but we have about 12 inches in southern parts of Louisiana. Moving up into Mississippi, we have about 7 inches. And then moving up into the Memphis area, we have about 5 inches. So that is still a great amount of rainfall.
Oh wait, there was a report of tropical cyclone. There was max sustained winds of 43 and a gust of 58 mph recorded in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. So yeah, the impacts are
Mhm.
actually there's tropical storm impacts being felt
Yeah,
in New Orleans.
yeah,
That
right.
does mean that.
Yeah. Like I said, like, I probably you weren't here. Like I said earlier, like a while ago, I think Jack and Charlie remember that the conditions are going to be felt outside. It's not always going to be focused in the center, but it's going to be outside. Tropical storm force winds can extend miles, and there can be impacts miles away, even if they're not even close to the center. There you can see
Yeah.
like already a report of a 58 gust and a 43 mph sustained winds in New Orleans.
I mean, even a weak tropical storm can have a pretty extensive wind field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Take
that's say to
Alberto, for
that.
example. It was all the way close to the Mexican border, I mean, coastline, and it was producing tropical storm winds in southern Texas.
Well,
I mean,
people
same goes for
here are now
Francine here.
saying Francine is 90 knots. I've just had a look and I can now confirm Francine is intensified to 90 knots. So the storm, when we were thinking this storm was weakening, it's now 90 knots. We've gone up to 105 miles per hour now.
105?
Yeah.
So,
Is there
Seriously?
recon data?
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
look,
105
making
and
landfall.
landfall. Yeah,
Bro, how much is this storm gonna give
My
us?
goodness.
Bro, this storm does
landfall
not
is
want to
imminent.
go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, when I said that this storm usually storms weaken right as they make landfall, I
Mhm.
don't think that's one of those cases.
No,
Like, this was a
probably
storm
at
that was
some point it will.
forecast. This is a storm that was forecast to weaken as it was approaching landfall, and now we're seeing it intensify.
Wow.
In 50
It's
knots wind shear as well.
yeah,
Like, how many miles away from landfall is it right now?
Plus
I can check
very
that for you.
close.
The landfall is.
Looks
Oh my
like about
gosh, it's.
let me check the center. I
It says
believe
5
it's
miles.
5 miles.
yeah, 5. Yeah, I got 5.
It's
Yeah.
still 5 miles. Okay.
Wow. It's wow,
Actually,
it's surprising.
it's 4.5, but you can round that to 5.
Oh
So
yeah,
4.5
roughly near
miles.
10.
And bear in mind,
Let's
this
bring
storm is
this.
moving very quickly. The movement is very fast.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was expecting landfall earlier, to be fair, but now it's just imminent. It looks like this is going to be
Yeah.
a 22Z landfall, and
Oh, I'm sorry to
around that
interrupt,
time.
but there
Oh
was
yeah, go on then.
There was another 49 mile per hour sustained winds near Homa or near Boyle Cane, Louisiana.
I just like
They found
here we are. Breaking news now in from National Hurricane Center. Hurricane Francine has just made landfall in Louisiana. Breaking news. Francine has made
wow.
landfall. 105 miles per hour storm, 970 millibars. Louisiana being battered right now as this storm rolls away, making landfall just near Homer, just to the south. Anyone have a take on that? It's National Hurricane Center have announced landfall.
It's crazy how this storm decided, and there goes another report. But I'm gonna just finish off. It's surprising how this storm decides to show us one last of her peak before landfall.
Yeah.
Like-
It's just crazy. Like this storm does not like want to just say, oh, this is
Give
how
up.
much I'm gonna be, but then decides to put on one more show before its final landfall, and boom, 105, another peak.
I'd just
It's-
like to
it's
say
just-
for the
Yeah,
people that have joined.
almost-
Oh, go ahead, Zeta.
I mean, that- earlier on, it almost looked like this storm was gonna be a quote-unquote bust because it was staying at 65 miles per hour for so long. It looked like it wasn't even going to near the initial forecast intensity.
I'd just like to say for people who have just joined us, Francine has indeed just made landfall in Louisiana. A Category 2 right now, 105 miles per hour, 970 millibars. You did hear me, I said it just a moment ago. This is an incredible storm, the way it's intensified that quickly. Now, storm surge is the main issue in my opinion, and flooding. The fact that this terrain here is very low lying, which does not at all mitigate the fact that the storm surge is fairly high in some regions. And definitely, if you're looking at that rain on Jose's screen there, just on the screen there, that rain on the left side is huge for the northern side of the eyewall, which is the side that is unfortunately on land at the moment. The storm is actually Homer is just entering the storm's eye, it looks like, and New Orleans will be entering the eyewall shortly. The storm's moving 20 miles per hour northeast at I believe 35 degrees now.
45. I think
45
so.
degrees now.
Jim
Right, go ahead.
is getting battered.
Yeah.
He's
So
he's
there
trying
we
to
are.
stand. Like he's trying to stand, but nah, those wind gusts are insane.
If anyone doesn't know who Jim Cantori is, he's one of the Weather Channel's prominent storm chasers that goes into storms to document them. As we're saying here, if you guys want to ask us any questions, we're about to be going off the air. Well, now that we know it's made landfall, we just want to explain some final points before the storm continues on through the state. Does anyone want to ask any questions? Just tag us at Force13 all in text, and we'll reply to your text in the live chat very soon. If anyone wants to talk about this storm in more depth, we do have a public Discord server, discord.gg/Force13, to go and check out our tropical weather chat. And this is a very serious situation here for the residents of Homer, New Orleans, and that part of southeastern Louisiana, and of course even Baton Rouge could be battered by huge rains as the storm heads straight over. And Baton Rouge, I believe, is the state capital, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so even there, it's just that that one part of Louisiana that sticks out down to the southeast is being battered by the storm right now. I strongly encourage people in this area to bunker down and keep safe as we're about to go off the air. Does anyone else have their final thoughts? I'll start. We'll ask for everyone's final thoughts. I'll go along through everyone. I'm going to start with Jose, seeing as we're looking at his screen right now.
Yeah. Just
Do
trying to
you have
find
any
one
final
last.
thoughts on this
Yeah.
system after we go off the air now that this has made landfall?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say that this is one of the most interesting and most like shocking hurricane I ever, tracked that,
Yeah.
decides to, make its last peak before landfall and then now making landfall and getting that peak right at this almost at the same time. But either way, I'm gonna get to the point. Just please, like I said over and over, stay away from flood waters. This storm is not done. It's still gonna bring tropical storm and hurricane force winds up along. But until then, like right there, as it starts to weaken, tropical storm force winds will still be strong into the
Hmm.
plains, but mostly it's the rainfall that's going to be the issue. If it's still, like I said, if NHC is still forecasting that stall over the plains, rainfall is going to be an issue. So please do not drive, do not walk, or do not swim because you don't know what's inside, you don't know how deep it is. But
Hmm.
yet again, please stay away from waters, stay away from down trees, stay away from down power lines. Keep each other safe because we will get through this. Right now, it's made landfall. It starts on its weakening trend. But please, like I said, stay safe.
I'm just gonna say, we've got some comment here from Hurricane Alternate Ron. How fast is it moving? I believe it's moving 20 miles per hour to the northeast at 45 degrees. Charlie said it was 45 degrees a minute ago.
45
And
degrees.
Saheb
7
plays,
miles per hour.
yes. Oh, 17 miles per hour. Saheb plays says HWRF and HAFA have been very consistently aggressive for Bebinca, for your information, near the Japanese Ryukyu Islands, I believe you mean. Just concerned. Yeah, I do know. We will be having coverage on Bebinca as well in the near future as well for when this thing happens. But this storm is very incredible that we're looking at now, Francine. And I'm looking at Charlie's screen. Charlie, do you have any final notes before we go off the air? Any recommendations for anyone nearby that haven't been mentioned already?
Just say this really fast. There
Oh
was
yeah,
a
go ahead.
report of uprooted trees or snapped or blown.
So there you are,
There's
as
already
we were saying
uprooted trees.
earlier. Already reported of snapped trees. Please stay away from any tall, flimsy things like trees and all sorts. Charlie, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, at the moment, obviously, there's nothing you could do to prepare now. It's now made landfall, and effects will continue until the storm passes. It will weaken from this point onwards due to sheer land and dry air altogether, so it will take a tumble down in intensity. That doesn't mean it won't be affecting in the areas. Obviously, flash flooding, storm surges, and stuff that Jose said, like tree snapping and possibly landing on buildings or any sort of areas that could collapse upon you. Make sure you're in a sturdy environment that is not too bendy or soft or any sort of thing that could be destroyed or damaged from wind, water, flooding, rain, etc.
Is that shall I move on now? I think I might move on to Maury now. I'm gonna look at Maury's screen, seeing as Maury has a screen. Maury, do you have any final words about this storm before we go off the air? Anything you'd like to say?
This storm has managed to surprise all of us. It definitely is a storm to note for the 2024 hurricane season. And we're hoping that this is the last big storm of the season, but it does seem unlikely with other storms coming nearby. However, this storm in itself, it will still be remembered by the people in Louisiana, as it made a Category 2 landfall and never gave up on intensifying. However, now is when it will give up, since the wind shear and the dry air will cause the storm to start to tumble down in intensity. This storm is nearly finished. We just have to get through a little more, and then we'll be will be done with the system.
Thank you, Maury. I'm going to move on to Zeta. Zeta, you're joining us from Ohio. What are your thoughts on this system? As you've joined not long ago.
This has been a really interesting storm to track from when it was first designated as an area of interest in the all the way even in the open Atlantic, the main development region, and it took so long to get organized after crossing into the Bay of Campeche from the Yucatan Peninsula. So technically, this storm has lived a long life, and now we're finally seeing it come to fruition. And here we are at its peak of Category 2 intensity, and I hope everyone is staying safe right now.
Yeah, so now that we've got a final word out from the team, I'd just like to say thank you all of my team for tonight that has joined me on this live stream and helping with commentary. It's really appreciated. I'm just going to say one thing. This storm surge, I've said this so many times and I cannot say it enough. The low-lying land is very, very prone to this high storm surge. Now, seeing as this place is being hit by this land, the flooding is going to be catastrophic. So, especially even without storm surge, the storm is it's got quite a lot of rain on its northern side there, as you can see on Jose's stream. And I like to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Serious situation, so keep tracking this if you're nearby. Hope you guys have managed to conclude your preparations properly during this stream, and